Hello everyone, I'm Greyshot117, and today we're currently casting a series of games in the Autumn Open. This is a 1v1 tournament featuring some of the best Company of Heroes 2 players. You might remember some of these people. Orangepest as the Soviets in this game, Game 1, and Kobal as the Austere. Now, I do want to take note, because this is a slightly funny story. Anyway, Game 1 and Game 2 I did not cast on the stream that happened this point like a week and a half ago. The problem was, whatever reason, Game 1 and Game 2, again, normally finished up, I caught Game 3, but normally I would catch afterwards and then put it up that week. However, small issue popped up where I couldn't play this game for whatever reason. It just did not want me to show these replays. So I did what any reasonable man would do. I waited for my brand new, awesome PC to come on in, and then I was able to cast them. Literally no issue. So it turns out my 5-year-old PC, over 5 years at this point, was just, I don't know, it just did not want to download the workshop, no matter how many times it downloaded it, re-download, verify integrity of Company of Heroes 2, deleted it just manually. That and a few other files from Company of Heroes 2 workshop wouldn't work. But, I mean, I had issues with my own PC in a number of ways, but that was the final straw. At least for me to be like, yeah, I'm not going to wait and just slowly transition when my new PC came in, because at that point it was already being purchased. No, I'm just literally gonna get it operational as soon as possible, and then cast it as soon as I can, which led to a mouse issue when I live streamed. But overall, now everything's pretty much fixed, and it's running buttery smooth, and I am so happy to play Company of Heroes 2 without any major issues. But anyway, we got ourselves Kobal fighting a Soviet player with an MG Grenadiers. For a start, nothing too out of the ordinary. By the way, we are on the map Fomenville Approach. This is the map that caused me hell. But luckily, my new PC can open it just fine. Old PC would literally, like, start dying if I tried to open this map and sync error and just crash code 2, which normally wouldn't happen. But my old PC's like, hey, I'll find a way to just go above and beyond failing. Nice cover, by the way, stops Kobal from moving in, taking that position. Grenadiers holding the line against conscripts. Conscripts, by the way, I don't believe have any abilities, so no Molotov can be thrown. At least not yet. But he does have 3 conscripts, and he does have 2 engineers, so at least he has, you know, a decent front line. Kobal has 3 grenadiers, a pioneer, and an MG. So overall, it's, if I had to like give a fair assessment, Kobal has a slight advantage, while Orangepest is a better, like, mobile infantry that MG will suppress and cause a lot of issues for any attack. And we can see here, good job with the pioneers forcing the engineers back. Now, will they get medics is the question? They will. Okay, so Orangepest is getting medics to heal his men, but Kobal has yet to do that. It might take him an extra minute or two for that to happen, but that's fine. Again, you want to focus on grabbing territory, then using excess manpower you have once you get frontline troops to then build a medical HQ. Again, capturing all the points, locking down territory. Is he going to put barbed wire? Maybe not, but he'll at least capture some key points like the fuel, a major capture point, a munition point. He doesn't really have to worry, which is why he's like, okay, I'll have 1 model there. Little risky, but to an experienced player like Kobal, not that big of a deal. Anyway, MG opening fire on the engineer squad, forcing it back, though it does have a flamethrower, which I'll give full credit for. That is pretty important to have. Again, more barbed wire everywhere, and a mine looks like being placed. Excellent position, because they'll have to walk through that, like, area. They want to capture the munition point, which will, especially for a bunch of 4-man squads, will probably send Kobal's men running back to base. Now, looks like we have a base being built. Yep. Okay, so tier 2 base and a medical bunker. Soviet counterattack is just recapturing what he can, and again, there wasn't really much of an austere presence, so he just easily forces the enemy back. The question is which Orangepest is going to bring in next. Now, going with this doctrine, Soviet mortar, guard mortar, he has 2 solid options. He can go with guard troops, and he can go with a mortar. He's almost at, you know, 2 CP, so if I had to assume what he's going to pick, I would assume the heavy mortar. The heavy mortar is something extremely powerful. Like, I know a lot of times people are like, well, Greyshot, I didn't choose the heavy mortar because it's not that effective. Now it is. The heavy barrage it can call in. Super, super good at removing, well, MGs and other mortars from the field of battle, or even support guns for that matter. And of course, you have guard rifle infantry, which are really, really good medium to long range with their DPs. So you have two really solid options. Now we have a 2-2 on the field that might change things. Kobal bringing one up within 5.5 minutes, which again, wow, actually, I really like the skin on that one. But yeah, he's moving on up to combat the conscripts. And as you can see right here, the conscripts will probably be able to, you know, hold for a little bit, but not too long. Now, you're going to need some sort of AT, so maybe they'll rush up and nice mine. Grenadiers, though, might hold on. Yeah, they're going to hold on to that territory because there's no enemy presence there. Okay, so I thought AT gun was a possibility, but nope. We have guard troops. And again, the guard troops do have base PTRS rifles, so they should be able to do quite a bit of damage to that 222, which is trying to remove that cover. Again, it's like, I'm done. I'm through. No enemy is going to have that, you know, build that thing and possibly cause my men so much havoc by having good cover. 222 pulling on back. Grenadiers up north. Pioneers moving into intercept, but with the 222 there, I'm actually unsure if he would win that, because 222 could just drive him crazy, rush on in, go around him. And yeah, that's the 222 do exactly that. Moves on in, moving around to most likely hit the unit outside of the cover bonus and forcing him back immediately. Grenadiers do pull back, so is going to stop the cap. VP wise, it's leading toward Orangepest right now, who's keeping victory under his clutches. Conscripts with guard troops, by the way, are moving on in. No DP, so they won't have a huge infantry bonus quite yet. MG being flanked is going to pull on back. Pioneer making sure, I'm sorry, Engineer making sure there's no Teller mines or S-mine fields or anything like that. You usually see that with Soviets getting 2 engineers, one for flamethrower to build, knock out enemy buildings or, you know, neutralize large groups of infantry and reduce their health quite quickly. On the flip side, one to remove mines and such. That way you have a good balance. And if in case the enemy does lay mines, like a lot of these high top tier players do, you can counter it. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't look like Orangepest has a counter to this. Snipers coming on in will take a shot to the guard troops, or he would. Guard troops pull on back. They're behind cover. Sniper is about to take a shot. Hopefully he can start reducing the health of the Soviet infantry, though 6 men takes a little bit longer to reduce and bring down. Though Orangepest going a very different tactic, and that's the half track. I'm going to be honest, I don't typically see the half track in a lot of 1v1s. Typically a player would go with a T70 or something along those lines, but no. Half track is coming on in. Now with a quad mount, it's going to open fire and immediately suppress and push back the infantry. Sniper is going to make a slow retreat. I like his positioning. Immediately thinks there's going to be an AT or something, pulls back. But the nice thing about that half track is with the AA rounds, the 222 has an issue. Sure, the 222 can cause damage to it, but yeah, good luck with that. Just good luck with your autocannon versing the AA half tracks quad machine guns. It will drop you very quickly. It's still, the 222 can cause damage, and maybe with some Panzerfaust or other things you could bring it down. Wow, Engineer's going straight for the Sniper, bringing it down quite a bit, but down about a quarter of its health. Grenadiers. Oh, Sniper actually hits it on the retreat. That's a hell of a shot, and also hits the unit that had the most health. You can see here that model did not have a lot of health. Grenadiers might have picked it if he would have engaged and like charged it, but I guess he's like, no, what's the point? It's 2 models at a good clip of health, but the Sniper, 50-50 chance on that shot did manage to connect, which is quite astounding to me. Pack 40 being developed to most likely counteract this half track. Again, great use of the half track, hitting the Grenadiers, most likely, yep, causing suppression. Conscripts moving on in. Do we have AT grenades? We do not, but Kobal doesn't know that yet. Kobal may think that Orangepest has AT grenades, so let's be very cautious about that. Sniper trying to figure out what to do. He will need some medical supplies to heal him sooner rather than later. The longer he spends out here in terms of fighting infantry, the more harm's way he could be, especially with no infantry guarding him. He can sure pop a shot or two at an enemy coming in, but he can't survive more than a couple shots. Hits the guard troops. Grenadiers holding their own. Again, they have MG42 upgrades, so that allows him to have a good amount of damage output. 222 moving on in. Destroying the cover, like, alright, I'm done. You don't get the cover either. Pack 40 as well moving on in, but the DPs will start shredding the infantry. Again, something to keep in mind of is those DPs are extremely powerful. So you want to be very cautious with them with infantry. Otherwise, they'll start mowing down your men quite quickly. No, he only has so many windows. It's still quite effective. Sniper as well is something to keep in mind of, because again, it could quite quickly tear you down. 222 looks like already took a number of hits. Alright, has AT grenades now. Very cool. Rushing on in for the 222, trying to get close for a fantastic AT grenade. Oh my god, this could be a cluster right here. Sniper immediately retreats. 222 could die here if the AT grenade hits it. Focusing on the sniper, he forgets to throw an AT grenade, or maybe he just doesn't care. Oh, the other one does, and it connects. Quad's going after the 222. We could see a quick kill right now on it. And we do. Quad mount goes in for the kill. No Faust, by the way. Pack gun is out of position. Could have quickly turned and maybe with a Faust killed it, but with the conscripts right there, I guess he didn't want to risk it and just pulled the unit back. Again, not a detriment, though, for Kobal. He is bringing out a second MG, so he has a good amount of area to hold back the enemy. Orangepest lacking a lot of support equipment. No MGs, no mortars, no AT guns to speak of. So if Kobal, which, by the way, he does have battle phase... Oh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have battle phase 2. Never mind. He's a bit of a disadvantage right now. Orangepest, on the other hand, has tier 4 equipment. So he's in a decent state right now in order to combat the enemy and do what he can. Because, again, he could very easily get a T-34. He's probably going to get an 85 variant, so it'll take a little bit longer than your 76. But still, in a very good state to keep harassing Kobal. Kobal could hopefully get, you know, an MG with armor-piercing rounds or something, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Guard troops wear down the Grenadiers. Molotov cocktail burns another Grenadier squad, throwing it back. Again, even though with weaker infantry, and I stress this so much because the conscripts, until they get those 7-man squads, are weaker. Now, it looks like one squad did get 7-man, but engaged. So, yeah, he only moves up with 6. Great shot with the pack on target. Where's the... Oh, nice shot. That was on the tail end. I thought he had to be over here, but no. He's over in this direction, fired through the tree. Very nice shot. Although he's still firing, you can tell his attention is elsewhere, most likely at the Pioneer being pushed back. Again, while he does have a field position, overall map control is in Orangepest's favor. But again, Orangepest has less men. So if Kobal gets a good kill in, and I do feel like has that shot, he could absolutely turn the tide. Now, Grenadiers, again, have those upgrades, can do a lot of damage if coordinated, if concentrated. And it's not like Orangepest has a strike or a fire ability or something like that that can be called down to disperse the enemy. He just doesn't have that. Oh, wait. He has a mortar now, which could prevent a lot of blobbing or a lot of concentration. But if mobile, the mortar could be less effective. And again, also good job with the sniper. 11 kills. Nothing to sneeze at right now. Again, solid work. Also destroying the cover. Little things that can help turn the tide. Conscripts 7-man squad now, although 5 models currently. Pulling back. Doing some light heals. Again, it doesn't cost all that much for an austere player, 10 munitions, but it can add up over time, especially when you're not getting all that many munitions. Right here, tearing apart the conscripts, though. Great job with the engineer. Coming in for the flank, burning the sniper. Can we get a pick with an engineer squad? It's going to be close. Very close. But the sniper shall live. Heavy mortar, though, coming on the Grenadiers. Going to need to worry about that. Conscripts opening fire on the Grenadiers. And trying to pick off maybe the MG on retreat as well. He's going to retreat, though, with Grenadiers counterattacking. We're seeing small little pushes holding. And while the conscripts did manage to get behind the line, wasn't enough. Kobal, in a bit of a sticky situation, is getting battle phase 2. So most likely will be in a good state. Also, looks like half-track under fire. Took a shot from a pack or something. But down quite considerably on health. 85 in development. That's going to push Orangepest in the lead in terms of manpower. On the field and overall on armor, because Kobal doesn't have that right now. Kobal needs a bit more. Now, what can Kobal do? Well, he can go for the Panzer IV, but the Panzer IV is at a distinct disadvantage next to an 85. So he's really going to need to use his Grenadiers and his pack gun to full advantage. but we'll see how well that goes. Grenadiers coming in. Sniper could fire a... He's firing an armor-piercing shot to stun the target point blank, I think. Does not want to fire. Does fire. Great shot. Brings down a number of the models and forces them back. I think he was trying to go in for a rifle grenade, but decided against it. Again, not a bad idea with a retreating unit. Half track under fire once again. Or maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, not sure. He just dove on in. Almost Vet 3. Gotta give a hand out. Gotta give a hand to Vet 3 half track in this game. Solid effort provided by that unit once it does. Again, I do find it funny. Reinforcement radius doesn't really work for the AA upgrade, but still. T-34, 85 on standby. Maybe a Stug or two. Unfortunately, it looks like the 85 had a man stuck in it. Is that man headless? Oh, no, he still has his head. Okay. I was going to say, it's a hell of a way to go. 85 hitting the pack gun directly. Pack gun returning fire, hopefully. Does shoot. Fouls returning fire again. Pioneers moving in. It is decrewed. Conscripts pushing on in. That is a bit of a issue if you have a pack gun that is decrewed. Molotov going on it. Conscripts focusing on it. Again, concentration of force. Where is the remaining Soviet forces? Not Soviet, Austere forces. It just doesn't look like there's a healthy amount to guard it. And it looks like Kobal is about to lose a pack gun. And that is key to killing the 85 and the half track. 85 will be, you know, not operational for a short period of time while it gets repairs. Sniper will harass, but overall in the armor department, Kobal is down. But he does have a small advantage, I think. Remember, this is a Commander Terminator set of rule sets, so if whatever these people choose, they can't pick in the future. So Kobal has decided besting armor is the key to victory. He could build a pack, or he could fortify with a Panzer IV J version, and the J is slightly better. And is it enough to fight an 85? Not necessarily, but is it a better, you know, unit than your standard Panzer IV? Yes, it is better due to the fact that it has additional armor, and I think that might just be enough to hold, especially if he has good support, to hold his own against the 85, though he needs that support. He needs Grenadiers to be with him on that push, because we just saw he dispersed some units, they weren't able to guard the pack properly, and the conscripts just swarmed in and overwhelmed his men. MG about to be overwhelmed as well. Again, Orangepest doing a very good job of just pushing back Kobal at key areas. And again, we see here, MG neutralized. Nice shot by the Panzer IV. You can see here, they both lit each other up, but marked targets not active over this Panzer IV. Does hit the car there, so that's funny. 85 is actually the loser in that fight overall. Panzer IV could move on in to hold back the guard troops before they kill that unit, though has to be very cautious. The 85 is about to be healed. Again, most of the units are back at base. Kobal not looking great. Orangepest keeping the knife to the throat with the 85 still there, healing on the front. Very risky, but a risk Kobal unfortunately can't really push upon because he doesn't have enough men. Sniper guy handed him off. Handed to it. 24 kills. Recon plane still over because of the marked the marked target. 85 is about to be supported by a Pack 40. Nice Faust on the half track, but he can't push on a Panzer IV being driven back by the 85. Now fully operational and healed up. Marked target's gone, but still the 85 has nothing stopping a push. No teller mines in the area, nothing. Okay, lucky bounce prevents a catastrophic issue for the Panzer IV, but again, 85 just driven back. Pioneers will need to heal the Panzer IV, and really Kobal needs some support. Luckily, Pack 40 is being brought up, but a Katyusha is being made. Orangepest just keeping the pressure going. 3 VPs taken, so less than 80 points for Kobal. Right now, Orangepest only lost 6 VPs over the course of this game so far. Sniper is still providing that support, and it's not like these Grenadiers haven't gotten kills. They have. Okay, maybe not. I looked at one with 3 kills. At 8 kills. Never mind. These have not gotten as many kills as I thought they would have. Meanwhile, these Soviets, if we're looking at them, overall, 15 kills, 5 kills. Generally speaking, they've gone toe-to-toe, and you really don't see that with a lot of conscripts. Usually they get quite less than the German counterparts. Sniper hitting the unit. I think he tried a unit on retreat, though I'm not sure if it connected. Again, 50 points, and right now all forces are aiming towards center, but the half-track and the pack guns coming in along the flank. Again, moving at top speed, using a little bit of a speed boost. The high wall prevents the shot from hitting the half-track as it escapes out of there. What can it do? What is a good possibility here? Well, not many options. Sniper trying to go for the pack, but gets hit by a mortar. Pulls back.
25 points. Do not let them defeat us.
Panzer IV coming on in. As much as the German is like, don't let him defeat us. Yeah, I don't think there's many options left. Katusha hitting a lot of the support equipment, or at least where it was. MG pulling back. Second one being brought up. Still, this point's not operational. Pack 40 hits the Panzer IV. 85 coming on in, driving the Panzer IV back. Pioneers trying to grab mid, but unable to. And while the Germans might be able to use concentration against that 85, oh, nope, 85 just comes on in and pushes the Germans back, and that is game right there. 85 unable to kill the Panzer IV, but was enough to drive them back. Unable to help push back the conscripts, and it's pretty much GG. Though, again, even if the Germans did capture that point, they still need another point, and the half-track was guarding the other point with a large contingent of infantry guarding the other one. So that was a quick, easy game, solid game for Orangepest that will allow him to gain victory in this match. So again, let's check the after-action report to see how well he did in terms of overall gameplay. And again, Orangepest never lost a single conscript squad. Very good for him. Also got top damage and top kills. Positive KD even for the Soviets. Really solid stuff right there. Meanwhile, we double-check Kobal. And Kobal, only 27 kills for his Grenadiers. Sniper got 30, so one sniper unit got more kills than all 3 Grenadiers. Although the Grenadiers never lost a man either. But it is astounding to me that the Grenadiers got less kills than the conscripts. I'm sorry. I thought the Grenadiers were doing a lot better than they were. But I think, yeah, Orangepest did a lot better with weaker infantry scattered across the field of battle, and it was enough to bring down Kobal's chances of victory pretty much in all opportunities. There's very few times I thought Kobal literally had an advantage over Orangepest. It seemed like Orangepest knew exactly what to do, when to retreat, when to lose men, and did a solid job across the entire game. Now, will that continue on to game 2? Let's find out. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot, and today I'm casting game 2 of the Autumn Open with Kobal versus Orangepest. Now, Kobal was down last game. We saw him take some heavy losses, and honestly, not really inflict that many big losses upon Orangepest. They are fighting on the same map, but we have different factions, Soviet, Austere, with different players. Hopefully, the different faction types allow for maybe a better matchup for Kobal. Here's hoping. Now, again, we're seeing a similar build to last game. Again, we're seeing conscripts, pioneers, MG, and grenadiers. You know, just a standard mix. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Could they do something different? Well, Kobal could go airborne troops or armored assault or counterattack, and Orangepest could go German infantry doctrine. We could also see lightning war and strategic reserve. Most likely strategic reserve, would not be likely because, well, it's already past the first minute mark and you're not seeing a lot of Askrens onto the field, so most likely that's not happening, but you never know. You never know what you might see. But in any capacity, at least I can see this game. Like I mentioned in the previous game, it's just like, oh, I can actually cast it. It's not bug splatting. It's incredible. But yeah, anyway, looks like Orangepest moving on in. We have some barbed wire being placed and some cover being deployed by Orangepest. Again, it's going to be who can grab the VPs, who can deal the damage. And right now, Kobal has a slightly better mix, it looks like, because he's going to conscript and engineer and saving up for support weapons or something, I'm assuming, or maybe more conscripts. So it's slightly different than the engineer, which, again, even though I say that's slightly better, already the double engineer of last game proved super effective at combating Orangepest. Now, not Orangepest, sorry, the Austere. Now, we have your Grenadiers moving on in. MG kind of watching over each other. VP-wise, it's still about even, though it looks like on the left-hand side, engineers will grab that VP and slowly tilt it in the favor of Kobal rather than Orangepest, which is not good for Orangepest. But what might be good is claiming a victory in an early battle, and that's what seems to be happening. Orangepest pushing up, trying to force these conscripts back. Now, luckily, Kobal is pulling his men out and back away from the combat area. Grenadiers pulling back, and again, Grenadiers just chilling by the barrel. Or is that barrel or hay? I think it's hay. Not entirely sure. Anyway, whatever the case may be, we ourselves engineers and conscripts now fighting the Grenadiers. There's only one door, I believe, or is there a door on the side? Is there a door? No, just through this back area. Grenadiers opening fire on the conscripts on the far right. We have an MG being flanked by conscripts. Again, that was the biggest issue we saw last game, was just Soviet forces quickly walking through German lines and overwhelming them. But it looks like in this case, a quick Ura might allow, and does allow, for the conscripts to flank that MG, most likely forcing it to retreat. That man jumps for joy. Pioneers coming on in to deal the damage, but what's this? MG sets on up right as another conscript squad comes on in, forcing this MG to have to retreat, and I think it may be a little too late. Pioneer shadowing it. He's probably going to pick it up. Might lose a Pioneer. It should be a big blow for Orangepest. Can he get the pick? He does. He shoots the MG. His former masters, the Pioneer squad's dead, and now the Pioneers with the MG are running for their life. That's a big blow. Now, you might say Greyshot's just a Pioneer. It's not that big of an issue. But it is, ladies and gentlemen, because, again, that's 200 manpower that delays, let's say, to Tier 2 building and delays additional men. It delays possibly a 222 or a half-track. It has ramifications. Plus, again, you have to get the Pioneer squad to, of course, make the building. And right now, the Pioneer squad can't be built because he's doing Battle Phase 1. In case you're wondering, like, why is this not changing? As you can see in the top right hand of the screen. But yeah, no, Grenadiers at least winning the left hand side and mid, though conscripts coming on in. And unfortunately the cover, I don't think is going to work at this angle with the conscripts coming on in. So conscripts will light this sucker up and force them back. Additional conscripts coming on in. Grenadiers run for their lives and get out of there just fine. Alrighty, so in the meantime, yeah, they pretty much have mid. It's pretty solid for the Soviets. Though, right, they need to capture because the Austere took that. Do we have any Molotov cocktails? No. Do we have medics? Yes, and we have support weapon Campania. So, most likely Kobal could deploy something. But, maybe not MG, as we currently have a, well, drop that can bring in a Dushka. Dushka typically is preferable to a Maxim, especially at a cheaper cost, being, well, this. I don't mind spending munitions on a, you know, a better MG. Flamethrower hitting the Grenadier squad. Conscripts opening fire as well. Again, seems like with the flamethrower mix, and also good job reinforcing. The Grenadiers should lose this fight, and they will fall back. Nice rifle grenade, though, hits both units and pushing them back. Grenadiers, though, now have to fight more conscripts. Seems like they're all converging in that area. And without the MG, they're just not going to be able to fight. Though, looks like we have a little bit of support coming on in. We have a nice little airdrop provided by the Soviet Air Force, providing a weapon crate that provides SVT rifles. They're like, whoa, that was so cool. We actually have air supremacy this time. It's amazing what we could do with that. Anyway, yeah, the SVTs now moving, now equipped to the conscripts, providing them some additional long-range support that can go toe-to-toe with these Grenadiers with the MG42. Now, it should be noted that Kobal can't use this doctrine in the future, but he's currently down, so it makes sense he's going to try to do whatever he can to come back in a proficient manner. And in this case, it's making sure his infantry are capable of fighting Grenadiers. Dushka, by the way, has been dropped and manned by, looks like the engineers, I think? Yeah, the engineers man that squad. So, right now, 222 moving on in. No real AT, as far as I recall. Yeah, no AT grenades. The counter, though, would be the MG using armor-piercing rounds. That could be a form of AT, though just like the conscripts, requires munitions, and also you have to be within its radius. So again, rather than the AT gun, which is just purely designed to fire AT shells. Dushka, though, is still pretty solid, and looks like the AT gun is being made by Kobal, so at least he has something soon to counter that. MG suppressing the engineer squad, pulling back as the 222 hits ruin its head. Gonna be honest, 222, I prefer the other the other player's skin more. I mean, this base skin design's fine, but I don't know. I prefer the other one. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, MG holding this very large open area, locking it down. Pioneers as well, help provide support, blocking cover so the conscripts can't just rush in and use it. Grenadiers holding mid, and looks like the... Wait a second. Oh my god, they're actually using the Soviet cover for it. That's funny. And the 222 is killing the other piece of cover. So, great work there. Conscripts rushing on in. Looks like more conscripts with SVT rifles. AT gun moving in. Dushka. So, it looks like a large Soviet presence in mid to hopefully counteract the 222. Is it enough? We'll see. Dushka sitting on up, opening fire. Does he have armor-piercing rounds? No. Does a little bit, though. Oh, SVT, the SVT conscripts get in there. AT gun hits the 222. Looks like the Germans will most likely lose this fight. Actually, if he got in the building, the flamethrower probably would have done damage. But looks like they're focusing on the engineer. We'll probably drive it back, I would assume. Grenadiers in the building. Without the flamethrower, it'll be a little bit harder to uproot him. Especially without Molotov cocktails. Gotta love the Molotov cocktails, just saying. Just saying, they're pretty effective overall. But no, conscripts pushing on in, Grenadiers pulling back, and overall it seems like a general loss for Orangepest. He's bringing up a mortar that is an option to deal with support equipment. So again, we'll see how that goes. But right now, it seems like the conscripts will have more SVTs and will be better at combating the Germans. But again, I wouldn't sell Orangepest short yet. Overall, resource-wise, he's still doing comparable to the Allies, and overall, as long as he keeps things pretty even in terms of resources, even if he takes a hit VP-wise for a small period of time, you can still come back. Because again, the biggest thing is just how do you do over the course of the game, right? The early game is important, but if you can not lose that many men, and then come back swinging, you can definitely do very well. You just can't keep losing. MG under fire from the mortar. The Soviet mortar's coming on in. Again, provides excellent support, and I love the flare ability for recon purposes. Grenadiers focusing on a conscript squad with no SVT, so hopefully that's an easy fight with no major losses for them, and then they can push up and keep dealing blows to conscripts left and right without necessarily fighting a huge Soviet force and just being overwhelmed. Again, pick them off slowly but surely. Rifle grenade, probably not likely here because the conscripts are all grouped up in different areas. These conscripts retreat, most likely because they hear the 222 fast approaching. Though, they still have a little bit of time, but I understand. Maybe just pull back and wait for reinforcements. Middle seems pretty locked down. Soviets are going to really need a major force to come in to throw them off. Mortar's slowly wearing them down. But I mean, oh, it's enough that the Dushka retreats. Kobal's retreating a bit early with all of these units. I'm assuming he's just pulled that unit back. He's like, all right, I'll just heal it. Don't want to waste manpower. So again, just something to keep in mind. I'm assuming that's why I did it. Now that could, some people might call that a little bit, retreating too early. But if he doesn't waste manpower, he can then use it for other things, like the tier 3 building that he's surely about to build. I have to imagine he's about to build it. But we'll see as well what else he deploys. He's going to deploy, instead of that, maybe he deploys guard troops. No, he's building the building. Yep, there it goes. And now, again, is he going to use that to hopefully get himself a T-70 or a half-track that we saw last game? Very curious. Grenadiers holding the line against the conscripts, trying to do what the best they can, but conscripts coming on in force. SVT's pretty solid, and looks like Grenadiers are definitely feeling the brunt of that action. Again, the conscripts now have AT grenades, so the 222 could be in a bit of a pickle. Grenadier opening fire on the conscripts, wearing them down slowly but surely. AT gun as well, under fire, pulling on back. Most likely because Grenadiers are starting to press on the flank, and he doesn't want to overwhelm them, especially if the conscript is flanked. Although, nice job by hitting with the mortar, knocking out the MG. So Dushka and conscripts coming in to fill the lines. We have a medic. Yeah, the Grenadiers using Meg to heal. Try to use the bush to stay out of the cover. They are going to move to cover though and fight, but the Dushka's right there, which might throw them off. Mortar maybe drop smoke. Too late. He's already on the retreat. Good mortar hits the conscripts dead on. Grenadiers in the building. 222 gets hit by the AT gun. Pulling back. Again, some nice hits, some small hits, but again, they do add up. And right now, even though we have another MG for Orangepest coming on in, and also a huge portion of territory that's been captured by him, VP-wise, it's still favoring Kobal, and he's still holding it pretty soundly. I love the mortar bouncing off the Dushka right there. That's pretty fun. It's like, whew, no man died. The Dushka protected us. Grenadiers, though, do move in. They don't have the mortar still coming on this position. MG now moving up most likely to the house. Or no, he's moving over to the midpoint to kind of guard this territory. Mortar's still doing great against Grenadiers, weakening it down to half health or more. But they'll use mech squads, most likely a little bit of munitions to heal it. Conscripts grabbing the munitions on the far left, stopping the ridiculous 53 munitions per turn the Germans currently had. That could be a little crazy. Now, Kobal is deploying a T-34. However, it's a 76 variant, as we can currently see. So, good job at getting up to Tier 4, and good job at deploying that armor. Orangepest, on the meanwhile, is about to deploy a Panzer IV, probably the next 2 minutes. That gives the T-34 most likely a minute without an efficient form of AT. As well, yes, Orangepest has 4 Grenadier squads, and a Pioneer squad that, oh, never mind, he did go Strategic Reserve, which is very weird without the Assault Grenadiers, but maybe he's just getting it for the Panzer IV-J, unsure. Whatever the case may be, it's still going to be a while before he gets that armored unit, so that gives the T-34 a little bit of time while there's literally no major form of AT on Orangepest's side. Sorry, I kind of repeated that statement twice, but it is imperative that Orangepest doesn't have AT, because that puts him in a serious pickle when things start getting very hairy from the T-34 running amok. Grenadiers get pushed back, which again keeps the fuel under Soviet control. Grenadiers trying to hold on to the VP and also the capture point near the VP, but artillery fire is going to push back the MG, again pulling back, although it does lose the model on the retreat. MG still guarding the right flank of the middle VP. T-34 comes in, blasting the Grenadier squad pretty soundly. Again, he's just chasing. He switches over to anti-armor, but unsure why? Okay, no, he's just going after all the infantry. It's just a general mass retreat of all the German forces. Except for a few on the outer flanks that don't have to contend with the T-34, but I feel like T-34, what the frick is with the physics over there? Anyway, T-34 is probably going to back up and go contend with the Grenadier squad, though, as you can see here, he's going to move behind the bush, staying out of sight of the tank, and hopefully stays alive. Now, we do have a PaK-40 being developed and the J version of the Panzer IV. Grenadiers spot the T-34 and run. They do lose a model from the T-34's fire, which so far has done a pretty good job at routing a lot of German forces. Again, solid work, excellent work at keeping the enemy back. And it's so imperative that it happens, because just in general, if you can reclaim that territory, lock things down, maybe down overall in VPs, we can, you know, have a major comeback. Unfortunately, when the enemy has a PaK gun, well, that can be a different story for the T-34, because now they can counter you. But as you can see here, the Dushka is now covering the T-34, suppressing the infantry with the T-34, providing fire support. Mortar trying to counteract the MG and such, though the Dushka is under fire, he just repositions it. Excellent, solid defense by Kobal. However, the Panzer IV is now deployed onto the field of battle, so hopefully we can see this Panzer IV rout the enemy and provide a nice easy win. Looks like the AT gun is being removed, the MG opening fire on it. The reason I say removed is removed from the battle, and again, if he's back at your base, he's not participating. So right now, if the Panzer IV were to move in, hypothetically, then he wouldn't have to worry about the AT. But looks like Kobal realizes that, is going to fall back his men a little bit, have the T-34 provide defense to the AT gun, and just wait for another time to fight. Grenadier squad up north, decapping more territory, which puts the Soviets really in a bad position in overall resources, while Orangepest, 53 munitions per turn and 26 fuel. Pretty solid stuff. Again, Orangepest dominating once again with resources. Now it looks like population, he has advantage. It's really going to take something for Kobal to turn the tide. And another T-34 is Kobal's answer. Again, this doctrine also allows for an airstrike with the IL-2, so he might do a thing where he sacrifices a T-34 or, you know, rams it to call in the airstrike, which is a popular strategy, though I'm assuming Orangepest knows this, and if he can micro his Panzer IV very well, he can get out of the area of ramming pretty quickly if your micro is pretty good. Now, T-34 engaged the Panzer IV, as we saw, and it didn't fare well for the T-34, down to half health. Panzer IV still at full health. And again, it is the J version, so it has better armor. And the 85 last game took a number of hits, but it still was able to win. Now, the 76 is a weaker T-34, so overall, they're really going to have to play a numbers game and have to stay away from that pack, which is still down a model. So all they have to do is remove 2 more models and they might have this. T-34 pushing on the left portion of the VP. Panzer IV engaging, though misses. Grenadier, unfortunately, in mid being hit by the center T-34. And again, this is where combining T-34s and just hitting different areas, but still pushing in a general location. So it's like the pack gun can't hit either one or both of them at the same time. He has to focus on either, along with all their forces. And kind of keeping them like, oh shoot, I have to move over here. No, I have to move over here. As long as you keep the enemy on your toes, that's how a T-34 can be used, even if it's not even if it can't go toe-to-toe with the Panzer IV, because the Panzer IV is constantly having to go back and forth protecting men. Like this MG doing a good job suppressing the infantry, but it just can't take the hits. Meanwhile, the other T-34 is moving over to the left-hand flank and knocking out the Grenadier. Again, just keeping the enemy on their toes where they can't. That's the wonderful thing about T-34, as well as cost-wise, is you can have more of them and they can provide more support over the field of battle. IL-2 is now available, though, and he's about to have enough munitions. Nice job killing the cover the Germans were using, though 2-2 pressing on your conscript might be an issue. Pack gun lighting up the T-34, brings down to half health. The second T-34 comes on in. Pack gun could fire, though the high wall will probably take the shot. It does take the shot. T-34 now backing on up with the Dushka taking the center VP. Still, Orangepest still doing very well resource-wise, but the conscripts on the far right might be able to turn the tide. 2-2-2 does force one of them back. The second one is going straight for the VP. Now turning, go for the munition point. Again, needs more munitions for AT grenades, for the airstrikes, everything. So it is imperative he gets more territory sooner rather than later. As this second Zis gun being developed, again, Kobal really trying to make sure he has good armor and good AT. But Orangepest deciding to get a second Panzer IV. But it is not the J version. It's a base Panzer IV, which is very interesting. I guess his general idea is just get more medium armor to assist in mid. His Grenadiers, by the way, have done pretty solid work, on average getting in the low teens, except for one and the newer ones. Conscripts, meanwhile, have generally gone, like, on average in the upper digits, though right around the average for like 3 of the 4 is like 5, which isn't great. Grenadiers try to take mid. The T-34 opening fire is vet 1. We'll give credit there. A lot of veterancy for both sides. Again, I think Orangepest's Pioneer Squad is the only unit that has died so far without being recruited like the MG. Like the MG came back to base. So it's curious to see who gets the next set of kills, because right now it's the main armies. Like, who's going to kill an infantry unit on the front? Looks like the Soviets are, though, retreating a lot of it. Hold on. T-34 engaging the Panzer IV, base Panzer IV. Trying to fire on the T-34. Faust is now firing. Does cripple the one T-34, so no ramming on that one. The second T-34 is also backing up under heavy fire from Pack, and the Panzer IV is now... Sorry, J is now moving up. I'll call them the P4J and the Panzer IV, just to kind of separate the two. Panzer IV-J is on the right. Again, Zis guns are, though, in mid, providing support and trying to hit using a flare. The Panzer IV, so they have maximum sight, though the flare just diminished, so they can't see it no longer. Airstrike coming on in, but the Panzer IV easily dodges. Not sure what the idea was there. Unless it hurts the pack, it does bring its health down, and the plane crash is spectacular. But overall, I guess the idea was lure the Panzer IV closer to the AT guns, but only one shot connected. So again, not sure what the purpose of that was. Luckily, artillery for the Zis gun is forcing a lot of units to retreat. 2 Grenadiers, MG hit by a mortar as well, down to a single model. And overall, the Germans, most of their frontline forces are heading back to base. Conscript's very low, but does manage to get back. Again, that could have been an easy wipe for a Grenadier if it was close by, but simply put, no, it's not. And, yeah. Again, just a nice hit overall. Again, it's a battle for mid. It's a decisive battle to see who can prevail. And right now, I see a small issue with the Germans. The Germans don't have as much AT as the Soviets. I think the Germans have better armor, though. So they have that. It's going to contend to who can kill what quicker. VP-wise, again, very close. Resource-wise, now it's pretty much on par. So it's really going to be who can wear the other one down. Artillery-wise, the Soviets have more with the Zis guns and the mortar. Also a Vet 3 mortar to boot. Although the Germans also have Vet 3 mortar with plenty more kills. This could be where Orangepest might want to try investing. He did in Battle Phase 3. Maybe a Werfer could be imperative at neutralizing a lot of these forces that are all grouped up. That could be super good and helpful. Meanwhile, Kobal is busy reinforcing so much he doesn't really have manpower to get out more men. Well, Orangepest is a little more in reserves, and although Kobal is definitely more fuel. Alright, so who is going to prevail? T-34 advancing, flanking the MG, though Panzer IV returning fire does miss. Zisgun is not in range, looks like. The other Zisgun taking back the base for healing, so one Zis is operational right now. Grenadiers push back conscripts in mid, pushing on in for the VP. T-34 waiting behind the house, most likely trying to stay out of the way of the pack gun, which is on the other side of the field. Engaging the T-34 could button, which would stop his retreat. Though he does not button, though he does get 2 solid hits, half dead T-34 pulling back. Again, another thing I could see is Kobal luring the Germans in, thinking he's about to collapse, and letting him have it with 2 Zis guns. That could also be very effective. Though 222 is trying recon, it's not great without the scope, but it's still a solid recon that will allow him to see a little further, and that might allow him to anticipate the Zis guns. Panzer IV on the flank does hit the T-34. The Panzer IV-J is still waiting on the wings on the right-hand side of the VP. MG setting up, though we've seen that mortar just cause a lot of damage to it. Conscripts are lighting up the MG, forcing it back. Grenadiers now moving on to the VP. It's a battle for VP. It's truly a battle of attritioning. And it looks like, actually, I might have been mistaken. I mean, great rifle grenade, by the way, for the Grenadier squad in mid. Artillery is hitting the MG, though, but the MG forced a conscript back. Again, both sides taking heavy hits, and manpower-wise, they're just spending it to reinforce. Again, very, very close on both sides. Are we seeing mines being placed? Oh, no, he's literally building the heavy Panzer Corps. Okay. Okay, and I'll give Kobal that. At least he had all of his buildings built. Orangepest now has to spend time building that base, which takes some time. Panzer IV is trying to put fire on the conscripts. AT gun returning fire and misses. Flare overhead, so you can see here the Soviet flare that can reveal all these units. Mortar and AT gun a little too close up. Zisgun could really take advantage of that in artillery, that location. Panzer IV and the P4J are now in close proximity, taking some heals. Big Soviet push in mid. Massive push. Look at all these forces advancing. Large amount of Soviet forces. Artillery focusing on the PaK-40, though it will fire on the AT guns. MG takes that action, though, and loses 2 models from artillery. The P4 is lighting up mid. P4J is possibly pushing left, unsure. Grenadiers, though, grabbing the munition point, which would hamper Kobal's ability for additional strikes if they can neutralize that. Pioneer squad under heavy fire from the Dushka, still trying to push into decap mid, but conscripts there too, so no decap will likely happen. Kobal is in a good position and will deploy a 3rd T-34. Panzer IV-J on the left, Zisgun covering him. Although dodges an AT gun shot like a champ, Grenadiers moving on in under mortar fire. Conscripts have to pull back, and the Panzer IV is now moving to mid. Zisguns are out of position. Panzer IV can now focus on the infantry. Dushka does pull on back. I love how he pulls it back because, like, I can't waste more manpower. I just don't have reserves to start losing men if it's such low health. But no, it's a fierce battle right now. Grenadiers grabbing mid. Though we can see here Orangepest still has a lead with VPs. Again, solid effort across the board. Pack Gun does drive the T-34s away. And right now, Grenadiers healing in mid. Additional Grenadier on standby. And right now, it seems pretty... Wait, what's this? T-34 flanking the pack. It's a great shot, losing the model. We have no immediate reaction. Pack Gun goes down. And right now, the third T-34 is coming on up. Grenadier sacrificed himself to pick up the Panzer IV. Where are the Panzer IVs? Orangepest microing a different front on the far left against Engineers to react. And the Pack Gun finally repositions. And now puts fire on the T-34s. Though, as you can see here, lots of infantry moving on up. MG decrewed. It seems like the far action on the left drove attention away from the main thrust of Soviet activity. Though, T-34s don't take too much fire from the pack. They do pull back to stop additional armor-piercing rounds now active in the region. Again, plenty of munitions, but the Grenadiers are back at base, not reinforcing. He is actively not reinforcing, but there's too many men. T-34s are now advancing. We could lose another NG right now. NG about to fall. Will escape. T-34s advancing. Panzer IV engaging. The Panzer IV-J took too much fire from the AT and T-34s. It looks like, in general, the Soviets have prevailed in mid in a stunning counterattack. No major losses, and I feel like that was because Orangepest focused a little too many men on left. And to be fair, if you micro on the far left, it's hard to micro in another front, which would be mid. But the Soviets did just, okay, send a couple units, focus everything in mid. And with some good micro and some good movement with the tanks and everything else, they were able to, well, put the pressure on the enemy and drive them back. So awesome job indeed. Now, T-34s are not done quite yet. They just need some light heals, and I can see another thrust. And now we come to an interesting predicament. Right now, Orangepest is still not updating his Grenadiers. Although I do like how he pulled them back just in case Katyusha started opening fire, because he realized the enemy is... well, the enemy has a possibility of getting a Katyusha. However, we're seeing a Brumbar. And as much as I like the Brumbar, it's currently doing two things. One, you can't heal your men. Two, it's allowing the Soviets to reinforce mid because you do not have any presence there. While I like the Brumbar, the current issue that I find is you're allowing the enemy to entrench, which, again, I've said in the past, that's fine, because right now we can see Orangepest has a decent lead. But the problem is you're entrenching when the enemy has more AT guns and more armor than you do. And the Brumbar is not an anti-armor unit, right? It's fine against armor, don't get me wrong. It can hurt a T-34, but it's not meant to fight a T-34. And also, these Zis guns are far enough back that I don't think the Brumbar can get close enough to hurt it. And if they did, now, with the amount of resources that Kobal has been given because he grabbed all the territory, he has airstrike capabilities. So he could ram a T-34, call an airstrike on the Brumbar, and it would be a good trade in my opinion. So yeah, right now it's a interesting fight in my opinion. It's a very interesting fight. To be fair, I'm actually surprised that Kobal didn't advance further, but Grenadiers finally are moving up, but no, not entirely. Some Grenadiers are still waiting in base to reinforce. They're fighting it under strength. T-34s are slowly pushing back the Grenadiers, causing model losses, which again inflicts more manpower losses on a person who can't take that much manpower losses right now. Pack Gun moving on in, but there's no infantry support. All the infantry is back at base, so I'm not sure what the point is over here. Brumbar does get a good hit on conscripts, forcing it back, I think, or... well, something died over here. I'm assuming it was conscript that retreated. But yeah, MG's now being flanked by conscripts. Again, you need full force. You need that full action. And right now, you also lost the MG. The MG's right there. It's still not recruit. It's just Orangepest does have the manpower. Kobal has plenty of time. It's actually now in a good state where if he loses a lot of units, or sorry, not lose a lot of units, lose a lot of models. Let's say models, not actual unit, but models. He can easily reinforce. So yeah. No, it's an interesting predicament, and we'll see if the Brumbar really pays off. I hope it does. I truly hope it does, but this is a large gamble that's given Kobal literal minutes to reinforce and lock down mid. Brumbar does get good chunk conscripts, forcing a squad back. Pack Gun opening fire on the 222. Large amount of infantry, though, coming on in. Grenadiers slowly pressing with a Vet 3 MG. Panzer IVs, both of them fighting the T-34, so this gun drives the enemy back. Another shot hits the Panzer IV. Not sure what the hell is going on. Pathfinding seems to be an issue. And luckily the Blitz stops him from being killed. Conscripts, though, pushing in the mid. Brumbar does bounce the shot and gets a good hit on the conscripts. Okay. We'll see if it was worth it. Mortar fire hits the MG, though the MG trying to hold back the engineers. Pack gun out of position, though Panzer IV-J trying to hold back the T-34. Pack gun really under fire. T-34 pushing in against the Brumbar. They're still holding off the infantry. Barely, I might add. Pioneers rushing over to the MG. Panzer IV-J bounces off the T-34, which is astounding in my opinion. Pack gun decrewed, and Orangepest almost loses another Grenadier squad. Oh wait, did he? No, he doesn't. Okay, never mind. That was just the decrewing of the MG, which now doesn't. Now without infantry, Panzer IVs have to really worry because right now the AT guns have nothing, no MG, no infantry to stop them from just pushing up and long ranging those Panzer IVs. And what's even worse is I'm assuming the mortar can't be too far behind, and he could flare it or just direct fire through the bush. That works too, which he's doing right now. He's firing at very long range. We had a Grenadier fire a foul set at T-34, though it did lose its life. Panzer IV-J pushing on up along with the Brumbar. No air support because of this doctrine. Again, T-34 ramming. Airstrike coming in. Brumbar's going to die. Panzer IV as well dies. Other Panzer IV under fire. And we just saw Orangepest lose majority of his men in that thrust. Now, he may kill that T-34. The game is over before that could even happen. And honestly, the Soviets have enough men. I think they could cover the T-34, heal it, and pull it back. Or, you know, worst case scenario, just get another one off the reserve front. But great fight by Kobal. Now let's double check the after action report to see how he did in terms of losses and damage. Orangepest had a positive KD. Can Kobal also include that? Can he have a positive KD? He does have a lot of damage with the AT guns. I'll give full credit there. We look here, and yeah, he has 15,000 damage. That's pretty solid overall. And now overall, 39,000 damage, so he has more damage. Though more kills goes to Orangepest, which showed that he played a little better as the Austere than Kobal did. Kobal did win, so he obviously did something better in that game. But still, like, Orangepest still had a positive KD overall, so gotta give credit where credit's due. Any losses? Not really for the Soviets. That's actually a very good game by Kobal in unit preservation. Orangepest absolutely started losing units. Though, 70 kills for Grenadiers. Excellent job there. Definitely better than the Grenadiers we saw last game. Even with the versing conscripts with SVTs and Dushkas and mortars and under heavy artillery fire, they still managed to get solid kill counts. But yeah, no, solid game overall. I would probably say, first off, a worth, like, I know he has a lot of T-34s, I know he could run your base, but you had 250 munitions. Teller mines could have prevented a base rush, but maybe a Werfer could have done a little more and also knocked out the AT guns. That also would have been a little bit cheaper, so that way you could provide a little support. Brumbar, yes, long term, I think would do a little more damage, but I think it costs too much at the moment, and the Soviets just overwhelmed you, in my opinion, that you did not bring up your full strength fast enough, and that was the key problem there. Though when it was in middle and they were both duking it out, it was great to see Kobal and Orangepest just going blow to blow. Neither side could really throw each other off until Orangepest did the left flank, and I think that just diverted his attention. Now he did get most of his units out, some of them did die, but most of his units prevailed. But at least he didn't lose entirely a unit, just a lot of models. So overall, yes, solid game, solid work, and we'll have to see how this goes in Game 3. But thank you guys for watching, and yeah, hopefully Game 3, the final game, is an excellent one. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot, and again, thank you RES Rachel for that awesome intro. It really is pretty cool when I have like a little custom thing I can just switch to and be like, and get ready for this awesome tournament game that's just about to go live. Anyway, this game is filled with two amazing players, Kobal and Orangepest, both duking it out in a competition to see who is the best in this 1v1 series, which, by the way, does have special... Yes, thank you, Tracks to Victory. Oh my god. Thank you, Kobal. I'm sure he'll crush the Huns very well. This series is essentially a 1v1 series with a special twist. It is a Commander Terminator series, which means that the enemy, or in this case, Kobal, can only pick this doctrine once. So Armored Assault, this is the only time he uses it. Orangepest, like Storm Doctrine, too bad. This is the only time you're using it. So, with that out of the way, Orangepest going austere, Kobal going as the Soviets. We got ourselves a 1v1 on Mill Road, the Autumn Edition, by the way. So for those who don't know what that means, oh look, the map is kind of centered around everything dying and orange, which essentially is autumn in a nutshell. It's pretty nice, honestly. MG setting up in mid, so again we have Orangepest as the austere going your standard Pioneer MG Grenadier combo. But Soviets, a little different, 3 conscripts and a engineer. Also, we got ourselves some defense positions set up by Orangepest, hoping to just hold the fuel and make sure that Kobal doesn't come in and harass him from the south. Meanwhile, MG setting on up here, or trying to reposition to figure out where the best to go. We do have conscripts on standby in 2 positions, so they might try to overwhelm that MG. Pioneers are guarding and are very good close range, so hopefully they can come in to protect it. Oh, 3 conscripts from multiple angles. Hold on. I'm not sure why. Okay, there we go. Oh, he was facing this way. Overwhelming firepower is what Kobal hopes to bring to the table. Pioneers being absolutely overwhelmed by 3 conscripts. And yeah, the Soviets will be on the offensive and push the Germans back, going straight for the gut punch, decapping this very key territory, which will cut off the southern fuel. Grenadiers trying to hold themselves in cover, getting a couple picks. Solid effort. MG could quickly come back out to assist. Grenadier losing a model on that offensive. And again, good job decapping territory with the engineer squad. Maybe a mine, while conscripts focus on the Grenadier that's just walking around his back lines. Kobal's like, get out of here. Now, Kobal also has radio intercept, so he knows what Orangepest is going to go. So he knows, he's like, oh, he's picking more Grenadiers? Okay, I can do this. Or he's going with a specific building. Let me go this way. The Germans don't have that luxury, but they can ambush. So while Kobal knows what's coming out, Orangepest can say, well, I'm going to hide the unit with camouflage. Not much he can do about that. So again, I like how both can use deception in key areas to hopefully harass and win the tide of the battle. Meanwhile, the tide is slowly turning, and right now in the favor of Kobal, who managed to grab not 1 but 2 key territory, being the VPs over here and also down south, putting the VP lead in his favor and resources also in his favor, with getting almost, holy mackerel, 2.5 to 1 in terms of fuel, although just, you know, 50% more in terms of munitions. Pioneer squad may need a health pack, but overall doing okay, at the very least grabbing mid and placing cover. Grenadiers again guarding the MG, good coverage, and yeah, ambush for the MG, which you might be like, Greyshot, it's an MG42. What's the big deal about it being ambushed? Well, if the enemy can't see it and the conscripts just walk into it, that's a great suppression, and that's a unit guaranteed to be forced to fall back. So long as he doesn't know about it. Conscripts, though, luckily, by Kobal, automatically flanking the Grenadier, which, unknowing to him, sets him up in a great position to flank the MG, but MG ambushes the conscripts, forcing him back. Now, I will say, that does give a better, that does highlight, oh, also suppressing this MG, very good job, but it does highlight to Kobal that, okay, Orangepest is going with this doctrine. He's going with a doctrine with camouflage. Most likely, Kobal's like, I'm narrowing it down to the 2 doctrines that have it. And most likely, Storm is going to be the one based on its popularity in terms of the higher level players. Flamethrower unit coming in against the unit in heavy cover. Again, burns them out. Solid effort. Conscripts as well coming in from the north. Grenadiers being like, okay, I have a second one, buddy. Also gets himself a ambush camouflage as well. Actually, they all do. They all get camouflage, which is great for the initial attack. But remember, the initial attack is fantastic, but you're gonna need something to, you know, keep up the attack power. And an MG42 would be fantastic. Alas, he can't really do that right now. He has 222 though being developed and hopefully brought out, which Kobal doesn't really have an answer for. He does have his 4-weapon Campagna, but he doesn't have any form of AT. Molotov does go out to burn the Grenadier. An AT gun would be preferable. Now, hopefully Kobal detects that with his radio intercept. It's like, oh god, there's a 222 on the field. I need to get something out now. Luckily, flamethrowers and conscripts managed to burn away the Grenadier. Unfortunately, the MG might cause a little bit of an issue, forcing conscripts back, but Engineer will burn it, hopefully. Gets a good hit in. Oh, hold on. What's going on? The game's like, that was too intense. I need to freeze up. Anyway, luckily he does get a little bit of territory, so Kobal can, you know, add up to, what, 58 munitions per turn? Wonderful. And that's really because of the fact that he grabbed the Northern Territory. Luckily, Pioneers are decapping that. Anyway, 222 coming on in, gonna harass the Engineer squad. Doesn't really have much of a fight against the 222. But again, AT gun was developed and is now being brought out to hopefully contend with that. So, solid effort there. MG camouflaged in mid. Again, good positioning. Just hold out, most likely when Orangepest comes over. Is like, ah, yes, territory I can easily take. There's nothing there. MG puts a few thousand rounds in his face. So, you know, all well, they'll end well for that Soviet detachment or group that comes on in. In this case, 222 providing the site, MG providing the firepower, and conscripts providing the dead men. Also, Jaeger Command Squad up north, picking off the conscripts slowly but surely. AT gets a great hit on the 222, forcing them back. And the Soviet offensive has begun. Overwhelming firepower drives the command squad back, but Grenadiers moving in defense positions to hold back additional Soviet pushes. AT gun at odds with the NG there, but could use a nice little arty barrage. He has 200 munitions as well, so he has the ability to. As well, and something to keep in mind, we do have a little bit of air support that can eventually be called in, but that requires 12 CP. I bring that up because both Kobal and Orangepest are at 8 minutes, and they still have only 2 CP. Or, okay, Orangepest is about to get 3, but I find that a little funny.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Anyway, Grenadier up north, taking the VP. Again, camouflage so that it's harder to see. Conscripts moving on in, being like, god damn it. And he gets a first strike bonus against the squad, so now the 2 Grenadiers can hopefully deal with the 1 squad and push it back. Though, conscripts do manage to take the south and drive back a Grenadier. Though, we'll see how long that lasts with the 222. Although while I say the 222 is good, T-70 might be slightly better. You up north? Yeah, Grenadiers easily push back the conscripts. Though, Grenadiers as well now get an MG42 upgrade, which is that firepower I was talking about. That would be great. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I don't know how long the Engineer will hold. Yeah, he's gonna pull back. And looks like middle might see a little bit of a breakthrough effort by Orangepest, who's trying to go in for the decap here, I assume, with the command squad. Might be able to with the MG providing support. Though with the bush, he's unable to provide the suppression needed. So conscript's just going to rush on in. Oh, 222 coming on in. That's a decent amount of support. AT gun hits a box. That's not helpful. By the way, this squad does have rifle grenades and Faust, so slightly different than other JLI infantry. So T-70 needs to worry. Though now he's clear to just rush on in and help support. Again, right now, Orangepest has yet to deploy a pack gun, and if Kobal's listening, he knows that for a fact, so he can just be very aggressive with the T-70. Being like, oh, there's no pack yet? Haha, I know there's nothing to kill my T-70. Alright, you all die. Oh, you're gonna Faust me? Oh, that's cute. I know that's a half effort, because I know you don't have a pack gun. And pack gun's on the field, he's like, oh shit, probably should pull this sucker back. Nice Molotov, pushes the Grenadier out of heavy cover. Does need some more infantry support. Kobal could use artillery to break this northern position up. Again, Orangepest doing a really good job, though, holding the territory in the north with that, you know, with enough support where the Soviets will need a good concentration of men in order to break that northern tide. Anyway, conscripts trying to move on in. Nice shot with the T-70. Gets a great shot on the Grenadier. Artillery barrage comes in. Could be a pick. And it is a pick. MG being taken by the Soviets. Maybe. Hold on. Engineer gets out of there. Rifle grenade gets a great hit on the MG. Can he pick it again? No, Grenadiers are unable to get a drop from the MG, so MG42 will be stolen. This gun under fire by the command squad. The conscripts coming in to provide that support. They should be enough. Also, a normal mortar coming on in. Not the 120 we saw earlier, but still a solid mortar that provides very important recon to help identify key targets in certain sectors. Command squad is very low. It will be sent back. But, again, I feel like the very key thing to realize, though, is the fact that more territory is under Orangepest control. And nice shot with the armor-piercing rounds pushes back the conscripts. T-70 now engaging the 222. Pack gun, though, moving on in, hoping to get a shot in. Does, actually, unfortunately, miss the target. Unable to connect on that T-70. Driving it away. Kobal survives without that much of a scratch, honestly, in that engagement. After being healed, no Faust, no additional armor-piercing rounds. Nothing was able to really hit it. Conscripts focusing on the MG. Mortar as well, providing that support. AT gun gets a great shot on the 222, though. No way it can provide any additional fire support. And Conscript does manage to pick off a model of that MG, although he himself lost quite a few. Mortar as well drives it away. So good job there. Right now the biggest issue for Kobal is his fuel. He definitely needs a bit more of that in order to stay, you know, in the fight for a bit longer. Hold on, T-70 being very aggressive against the pack. Engineer squad backing him up, though. Pack gun returns fire. T-70 hoping to kill the pack. Faust would kill it. Sprints, gets the Faust. And while the pack gun's decrewed, the T-70 is killed. Great use of sprint. Wonderful use of sprint. And yeah, that's a bit of a loss. Kobal going with another T-70, blocking his chances of getting a T-34-85. Molotov is dropped on the pack gun, saying, "Hey, yeah, pick it up and burn." Pioneer's like, "Cool, we'll take that bet." Grab it. Unfortunately, the Molotov kind of didn't throw itself onto the pack, so didn't do all that much. Artillery though comes on in, hurts the command squad, forces it back. And Soviet forces will grab control of mid and stop the VP bleed. Though they weren't exactly losing all that much. They're only down about 80 points, which is bad, but not as bad as we've seen other games. So as long as Kobal can kind of keep things even with Orangepest, it's not looking too bad. Pioneer squad going in to build a specific building that may be known for Panzer IVs and Oswins, which might be a big detriment to a Soviet player that went with another T-70. Again, not saying that's a truly like horrific move or he shouldn't have done that, but it does put him in a very specific situation. A situation where if the German, right, in this case Orangepest, is able to get himself a Panzer IV or something like that, or an Ostwind, even a Stug, to counteract this thing, he could be with a light vehicle that is essentially just sitting back at base for a good portion of time because he can't really push up. Hopefully that isn't the case. And right now, it doesn't seem like that's happening as Kobal launches an offensive. Orangepest is going to need to stay defensive for the time being, moving himself to cover, or in this case should get further back as the Grenadier is picking off the Engineer squad. Forces are being driven back. Again, Orangepest holds on to that key territory for right now. Middle, by the way, going to neither side. Up north, the T-70 did take a shot from the pack. Going after the command squad. Pack gun, though, lining up a shot. We'll probably get at least one. Nope, T-70 gets out. Okay. Again, very lucky to not be pulverized. Up, T-70 grabbing a Soviet soldier with him to go. Anyway, that MG42 the Soviets stole, guarding mid. Doesn't have enough for armor-piercing rounds yet, so 222 is free and able to fire upon it. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I forgot. This gun right there, so never mind, he needs repairs immediately. Down south, we have some Grenadiers camouflaging themselves while grabbing some additional territory, which helps. Again, that's, what, 16 munitions per turn that can be transferred over. Panzer IV, though, is now in the front. And, yeah, Kobal should know about that. Luckily, this gun's ready and waiting for it. Though it did miss the shot. The question really now is, how is Kobal going to contend with the Panzer IV? And how will Orangepest deal with the Panzer IV? And also, how will infantry fare against the Soviets? Right now, his forces seem a little bit overextended. The conscript got very close to the MGs. Luckily, it did get suppressed. T-70 advancing. Where's the pack gun? In mid. It is in range of the T-70. Panzer IV moving on in. Luckily, Pack didn't get a second shot. Oh, it did! It did get a second shot. Panzer IV going for the kill. Does miss. MG holding the line. Does have armor piercing rounds now. Mortar support as well. Probably you should move back here so it's not... You know, if one of these units get hit by some type of MG or something, they all do. So it might be better to separate. As well as if the enemy gets some type of artillery or something that could hit all of them combined. You definitely don't want that. Conscripts being pushed back by the Grenadiers, which I love the fact that they are fighting and then they healed themselves and then they're like, okay, we're good to go. We're good to fight another day. Conscripts grabbing the southern territory. Again, VP-wise, Kobal starting to lose more again. Orangepest continuing to tighten the noose around his enemy. Kobal does not have the final building unlocked. Orangepest doesn't have Battle Phase 3, so neither opponent have gone for the upper tier of their armor just yet. Oh wait, this could be a good combo. Great shot, AT gun, plus a AT grenade, wearing down the Panzer IV. Conscripts trying to fight mid. You're trying to throw a Molotov, buddy. You're dying at a pretty quick rate. I mean, don't get me wrong, you will burn the command squad a bit, and mortar support helps remove the cover. But can you stop this squad from moving on in? It will drop a smoke. Pack gun and everything else is firing. Was enough. Conscript's trying to move to cover. Does get suppressed. The smoke does not help him. Conscripts, though, in the south, moving over. I don't know if they're trying to go for the Panzer IV or flank the MG. MG being hit by the artillery of the mortar does force it back, which might give a small window. T-70 now moving up north. Again, very ballsy, given the fact that we know the pack gun's up there. 222 as well. Pioneer squad very low. Oh my god, can we get a pick? We do! Conscripts pick the unit! Alright, that's a nice little win right there. Again, that stops the Panzer IV from being healed, mines from being detected. Nice, again, little win for Kobal. 222 engaging the T-70. Pack Sport setting down. Can it be enough to kill the 222? No, it is not. We actually might see the T-70 in harm's way. Barely living, I might add. Oh, wait, no! Another Faust. Would be amazing if that was the same Grenadier that killed the other T-70. But again, even though you killed a Pioneer, that doesn't make up for the loss of a very, very important light vehicle. Again, luckily there's a second AT gun to guard the Panzer IV from, you know, focusing this gun and neutralizing it slowly but surely. Conscript might need some health. It's like, yeah, we could use some healing. We do have Serbovic strikes, which are very good against infantry, and he doesn't exactly... Okay, he has a 222, which is good at shooting down planes. Not great, but it's something. I should add. We'll see how things fare. But again, I'll give credit where credit is due. Right now, the big thing is Kobal, right? Lacking armor. Although having a good amount of infantry support, a little more than Orangepest, but Orangepest still having Panzer IV, a 222, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention, a second Panzer IV that's in development right now. So even though you have two Zis guns, you're gonna need something big, something that can really hold itself against a double Panzer IV attack, something with better armor and a better main gun. But do the Soviets have access to that? Do the Soviets have the ability for such a tank that's better than a Panzer IV? Well, yes, they do. They have themselves a T-3045, which is in active development by Kobal. And again, its 85mm main gun is more powerful than the Panzer IV. And also, very importantly, the Panzer IV is at a small disadvantage with its armor as well, as the 85 main gun is better and can definitely do more damage. Brumbar would have been good. That's also true, but he doesn't have that building unlocked. Heavy Panzer Corps has not been unlocked. Battle Phase 3 has not been unlocked. Again, I can see why Orangepest is like, alright, focus on killing Kobal. That's the goal. I don't know what the hell this airstrike is supposed to be, but airstrike's being called in, which will force some Grenadiers back? I guess that's the plan. You brought down to about half health. This gun's opening fire against the Panzer IV, driving it away. T-34 charging in, air support covering, bouncing actually. Oh, never mind. All that talk I said about the 85, never mind. Can we pick the Grenadier maybe? No? Another miss? Are you serious? 85 does kill the Grenadier. Panzer IV barely alive, might add. More air support coming on in against the Grenadier. Plane is shot down, though, from the 222, I assume. Over here, T-34 opening fire, trying to push back the light infantry. They are grabbing some territory, but they need the VPs. They need the VPs. Conscripts been up to 7-man squads, or at least one of them has. Moving in for mid. Southern territory, Pioneers are grabbing. Northern territory, guarded by the MG and the command squad. So while, yes, it is a big loss, the fact that a Grenadier squad went down, it's not that bad for Orangepest. He still has a good army and good veterancy, I might add, with his troops to hold very key choke points and keep wearing down Kobal. So really, Kobal needs another good salvo, break Orangepest apart, and drive him away. But he doesn't have the resources for another air support, or more air support, I should add. T-34 will probably be operational before this Panzer IV is, so maybe they can do like a big effort, a big push to hopefully wear down Orangepest before he can reorganize his troops. And it looks like that's exactly what the Soviets are doing, moving up into mid while the T-34-85 heads south and moves around. We have smoke coming on in, 222 in active peril as the T-34-85 moves on in. Blast the Grenadier from the south, pack gun in the north, expecting a push that way, not the south. The Soviets overwhelming the Soviet defenders, just not much is here. 85 opening fire on the Grenadier squad, forcing it back. Soviet forces moving in from mid. They need the VPs, being down 4-1 and under 100 VP points. Conscripts focusing on target. Panzer IV focusing on the conscript, but 6-man squad will be fine, spread out. AT guns moving on in, forcing the Panzer IV back. No tellers to speak of. 85 will advance. Firing another salvo, gets a great shot, rear armor hit on the Panzer IV. Another AT salvo comes on in. AT guns are going to continue the pressure, it looks like, with conscripts pushing on in. Panzer IVs will need to pull on back. Or no, instead, Kobal's going to move south. And that might just be because he doesn't want to move up too much in enemy territory, protrude his head, and then, of course, get neutralized by an airstrike or Werfer or something, even though we know that is simply not the case. He should know, too, from radio intercept, there's no artillery. Literally, there's no artillery Orangepest has, but the MGs and infantry are there as well, so you might watch out for that. Oh, there's pack support. He got another pack gun. That's why he didn't push up. Rifle grenade comes on in. Again, the command squad taking a lot, honestly. Panzer IV taking a beating from the AT guns. Might be enough to kill it if he's lucky. Very low. Panzer IV will survive. 222 in the south, trying to hold back these conscripts. Meanwhile, T-34-85 just picking off the Grenadiers that go in the mid. Engineer squad burning him alive as the infantry keep fighting. Again, so far, conscripts doing pretty well. Again, they're all Vet 3. Like, I'll give credit where credit's due. They're holding their own pretty well, even though they are at a disadvantage. T-34-85 being driven back. Conscripts, though, flanking in the south. Might be able to kill the MG. Does kill the MG. Big blow. Meanwhile, forces down south are having a... just trying to hold with everything they have. They do managing to kill it. T-34 still there, though 85 is low. A T-gun setting on up, but I don't know if it's in a great position. Panzer IV needs one good shot on the 85, which is holding fire. Does miss. Now 222 coming on in. 85 gonna need some lucky bounces. No, he just needs some good support, and a double salvo from the AT guns neutralizes it. But alas, AT guns now disadvantaged and might be killed right here, right there. Hold on. Get out of here, 85. That was a great salvo, but unfortunately AT guns will perish in that. Another 85 being made. Again, we also, I'm sorry, this gun being actually recrewed by the Pioneers. How is this gun not dead? Oh, Pioneers have Minesweepers, less combat effective. Never mind, this gun should be well protected. Hold on, can we use an AT grenade? Oh, he doesn't have the munitions for it. He's just gonna scare him. Yes, I do have enough munitions for an AT grenade. You should fear this conscript. Orangepest like, nah, get out of here. I know you don't have enough munitions. Ow, never mind, I'm out. I'm being hit by AT. I'm leaving. Middle is being, again, the MG is driven back, and unfortunately the MG42 is recaptured by the Germans. VP-wise is still a major concern, as Kobal has yet to effectively grab it. Meanwhile, Orangepest is continuing to have a solid support line, though mainline infantry is, again, not great. Only has 3 compared to 4. Though, again, I will say this. Orangepest has 3 AT guns. I don't care how much armor you have. 3 AT guns is more than enough to hold back even 85 or hell, even IS-2.
Victory is slipping from our grasp. We have only 50 points remaining.
So middle will be captured. Southern territory will be captured. That should keep Kobal in the fight for a little longer, though he needs a serious win. And he kind of got it. Grenadier squads did perish on the retreat, thanks to the 85s. And engineers quickly healing him and being vet 3 definitely helps with that. Southern territory will be captured. Again, Kobal just needs to hold, and I don't know if he can effectively do that. Again, what's helping, though, is the fact that Orangepest did lose... Hold on. Did lose his frontline troops. And also, well, it also helps for Orangepest the fact there's no MG guarding mid. But there are MGs protecting on his side. Pack gun moving on in. 85 pretty low. Same thing on this side. Again, lots of AT. So the infantry's going to need to clear it. So while we might have armor supremacy, if you have a bunch of AT, you can effectively hold back even the 85s. Hold on, Panzer IV charging on in. Does get the kill. And he's going to maneuver up. Conscripts, I need to move in. And AT gun needs to reposition. But alas, the command squad's focusing on him. Realizing there's a conscript, he's like, oh, I'm going to back up this way. Never mind. Again, losing a Zis gun. Quickly can recruit it, though. Middle is being held by the engineer squad. Southern territory, though, at a loss right now as the Germans recontrol it. Though, luckily, the north is going under Soviet control. Middle right now is under a huge firefight as an 85, barely alive, I might add, trying to hold mid. Gonna need to pull back. Again, if the Panzer IV died, I would say Kobal has a better shot. But right now, with 3 AT guns still on one side, it's not looking good. Though I will give credit, there's more conscripts on the other front, but still, he needs something in order to keep contending with all of that, all of those AT guns. Would be risky with the Katusha, especially with a 222 that could dive it. So he's instead getting himself another AT gun for support. Conscript's trying to hold mid. Again, right now it's just a battle of VPs, and 10-1, Orangepest has the lead. He doesn't have the frontline troops, though. That's the only squad he has currently guarding mid. Right now, the rest is just guarded by MGs and other support. It is enough, though, to drive that conscript away. And whatever reason, this MG is just in the territory with a foot in, but it's like, no, I'm not going to capture it. Why would I capture it? Why would I do that? What? Why would I capture the territory? Anyway, mortar pushes back the Zis gun, controlled by the Soviets. I'm sorry, Germans. Conscript trying to move on in. But as long as the command squad has 1 foot on the point, conscripts can't grab it. Smoke coming down, but 85 blasts him, and now he just allowed the Soviets to grab it without the MGs suppressing him. But he needs another VP, and right now the MG's guarding the north with a pack gun, and the southern point's being guarded by all of this with a pack gun. So something's going to need to be done. It looks like the north is going to be where the fighting occurs. 85 comes on in. Panzer IV a little bit weaker. Pack gun having a rough time, but does manage to connect the shot. Zisgun hoping to fire on the Panzer IV. Does connect. Pack gun might be burned alive from Molotov. Additional forces coming on in. MG suppressing. Panzer IV at a bit of disadvantage. Doesn't have the munitions, or what's going on here? Oh, he does have the units. He honestly doesn't have the units to keep his engagement going. Pack gun will be decrewed, but he needs a point, and he just doesn't have it. Zisgun moving on in to fight the Panzer IV, but being overwhelmed by Orangepest infantry. And while there's a final effort for a big push in mid, it's all for nothing. As while the pack guns will die, he has no way to stop the VP bleed, and there goes Kobal's chances of victory. Again, solid effort by Kobal, but unfortunately Orangepest just played a better strategic game, and he was able to hold out for a victory. Slowly bleeding him down, and winning the game with a solid VP lead. So excellent job right there. Solid work. Alrighty. So with that out of the way, let's double check and see how things fared. Right now we got ourselves Orangepest with 36,000 damage. Solid work. Meanwhile, we got ourselves Kobal with 35,000, 106 kills. So definitely you can see here Kobal definitely wasn't as good in the infantry killing department, but Orangepest definitely was losing his frontline troops overall. And we could probably see, oh, Kobal, nice AT, although you did lose it quite a bit, but solid effort there. Yeah, Orangepest definitely lost the number of his grenadiers, wearing them down to just one and the command squad. But they did have more kills, so good job there. They have a solid amount of kills. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, though, is even though Orangepest did lose his front line, he had enough support with his 222, his MGs, and everything else to hold the VPs and keep victory within his sights. So solid job by Orangepest and Kobal. While he was able to have a solid infantry force, they weren't able to do enough to turn the tide of this battle. So great game overall. I don't know if that's the last game. That depends on if Kobal won his first game. So we'll have to see. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot117 doing the Autumn Open. This is a competition set up by RES Rachel with some of the best players duking it out and a hope and for a chance on these. By the way, I really like the redesign of all these maps. So for those who don't know, some modders went in and altered the map to make it more fall oriented with the trees and everything, which I think is cool. I think it's a really nice idea to have the map sort of change with the season and that the people are trying to kill themselves in. It's great. Anyway, we got ourselves Asha as the Soviet. We got ourselves Markov as the OKW. Oh boy, this is going to be good. Anyway, the Asha's already gone defense tactics, which is so far really good with the support equipment and anti-tank Overwatch killing armor. But this allows, as we can see here, Asha to just deploy conscripts. He's going to most likely deploy a lot of conscripts and then reinforce with either with all those specials, with heavy mortars, Dushka, and even the light AT gun, which can do pretty well. Anyway, what map are we on? Well, we are on Mill Road. Like I said, the Autumn Edition. Really awesome the fact that that is the case. And again, if you would like to support the Autumn Open, there's a bracket that you can click that you can check out everything. And also there's still, I believe, a donation tool under explanation info that can send funds to the main pool, so hopefully the the players can hopefully get a bigger prize pool. But still, I believe the prize pool is in total over $600. So again, awesome job, and hopefully the players feel well rewarded. Well, like I said, killing each other. But that's exactly what NOSMarkov is trying to do. Moving over with certain Pioneers and Volk squads against these conscripts. Doing pretty well. Conscripts are losing 2 models in the approach. Now, there is a lot of Soviets. Looks like they're all engaging right now. We got 1, 2 Volk squads versus 1 conscript, 2 conscript, 3 conscripts. But this one's already pretty weak. He's going to pull back, it looks like Markov repositioning his men to try to have a better fighting position. One conscript retreats. Conscript still being picked off model by model. Volk squad's only losing 2, but still every model they lose is a big factor. More Volk squads coming on in. Support is way up in the north, decapping territory, so I wouldn't expect them to come on in. Storm Pioneers going in close. This conscript squad is about to be overwhelmed, it looks like, and he is falling back to base, but we still have the 2 conscripts and an engineer, which might be trying to go, and it is going for a flamethrower. Going on in, trying to get the wipe. Can it do so? It does, and Markov, being so aggressive, ends up losing the first unit of the game. Now, that being said, Asha definitely took some hits, but he is a person that you can't just simply back into a corner. No, no, no. He's going to do everything he can to counter, and he did so with expert precision in terms of holding his units, getting them in cover, waiting for the perfect time to strike, and then launching it. Decapping the territory right now. The small lead that Markov has gotten has slowly stopped, but Volk squads are now reinforcing, coming back in with everything they have. Engineer squad coming back up, but again, he could reinforce it, but the engineer squad is better at a longer range, so I don't think he would really want to do that to himself. Most likely he would want to just reposition his men, hold for as long as possible, and then get reinforcements. And that's exactly what he's going to do. We have reinforcement. Engineers coming on in. We also have additional conscripts pushing on in as well.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Volk squad's opening fire on the engineer conscripts. More conscripts coming on in, trying to reinforce. Engineer squad very low to being picked off. Volk squads might have tried to push up, but they just don't have the firepower right now to really do much. Conscripts are behind heavy cover, but both are very weak. By the way, Asha should have and does have field infirmary, so he can get his men back up to full health. Meanwhile, Markov also has a medical facility, slowly becoming operational. This medical facility still needs some upgrades, but still very important to getting the OKW up to full strength in terms of health. That's the best way and only way you're really going to contend with a full Soviet force that's also healing. Meanwhile, the Soviet force has gotten themselves a better weapon. That is the Dushka machine gun. This amazing 300 manpower machine gun is capable of taking out light vehicles with ease. That's because right now, and by the way, I'll add this in right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get a Dushka machine gun, you'll get armor piercing rounds automatically free for 15 munition upgrade. But if you get up to Veteran C1, I'll add in more to the offer by including sprint to make it even go faster. Again, fast and the furious with the Dushka. That's exactly what you want. So, let's give a product demonstration, shall we? Immediately suppressing the Volk squad and forcing it back. That's pretty amazing. And don't you want the Dushka? Well, Asha does. He did, and now it's paid off spectacularly. Now, Asha does have to contend with a small issue. He has mid, which is fantastic, and has also gotten the fuel on the far right side. But that is not all. That's like, oh, okay, Greyshot. Well, he got this. Armor should not be coming out, and he should have majority of territory. Well, you, sir, would be wrong, because the OKW is deploying himself a half-track. That half-track is capable of suppressing infantry with ease. Now, it looks like, though, Asha is preparing himself with an M42 45mm anti-tank gun. Not the best in any capacity, clearly. Probably still the weakest AT gun in the game, but this 45mm AT gun will still give you and do a fair amount to enemy light armor and medium armor, but you know, the heavier stuff let's not talk about. Dushka does get flanked by Volk squads, and while another Volk squad's focusing in mid, we have a Volk squad coming in the back. Again, kind of just trying to focus, but I don't think, like I said, Markov has the men to really make this like a huge push. Rather sort of a more of a raiding action, just causing havoc. Volk squad retreating, heading on back, and again, successfully being pushed back by Asha, who just has a lot of men and has support equipment, where Markov is a bit lacking with support. Well, in any capacity, except for the half-track, which good for him, he got that. But Asha, as well, is lacking a very specific thing, which is a special building. He's going so heavy in terms of getting this special weapons from his commander, as well as conscripts, and also upgrades, that he is yet to effectively upgrade his overall base. So that's going to delay his T70 a little bit. Maybe an S76. Okay, let's be fair. It's going to be a T70. Or maybe additional armor, like a T-34. It's a lot of things that, again, a player has to think about when they do this doctrine in putting so much resources, or so many resources into the support equipment. But, again, right now we got Asha doing a successful block on the left-hand side, grabbing a ton of territory, as you can see here, and doing a triple VP cap. Now, it's not too bad, because we can see here that Markov is taking the south and placing down cover. So at least he can, try to delay the bleed out. Just put a bandage on a mortal wound that is just gushing. But hopefully he can, take a sensu bean, recover, and get himself in a better position. Hopefully. Now, as we can see here, we do have a small amount of Soviet forces ready to ambush the half-track, which he does with ease. Asha opens fire, bringing down Markov's half-track very quickly, almost killing it, down to about 10% health. 45mm may try another shot. Does miss, though very close to killing the unit. So again, overall, Asha doing a spectacular job of just containing his enemy in this game. Again, not all doom and gloom. There can always be a better position next game, or a counterattack by Markov. Again, Markov, we saw in the beginning, did an excellent attack that almost killed a unit. He just needed to retreat a little bit sooner and not put his units in such harm's way when they were getting so low on health. And also, front line capabilities, he's about even. We have 4 conscripts, we still have 4 Volk squads. Now, the counterpoint would be Markov needs to start upgrading or doing something to get the Volk squads in a better position versus conscripts. And as you can see here, the support weapon Campania has been upgraded. Most likely won't use anything right now, but he's going with the tier 3 building, most likely to get a T-70 or some type of light vehicle. Volk squads moving on in with Storm Pioneer in the half-track fully healed. Nice thing about that. AT gun is positioning, though we also have the Dushka moving in, protected by 2 conscripts. A lot of men. MG opening fire, suppresses and pushes back the conscript. MG now being suppressed, which is quite funny. Half-track now moving on in. He could use armor-piercing rounds, though I'm unsure how long they will last under fire from an MG and a half-track, and most likely he'll pull back. He does. Down south as well, the Soviets are in a full retreat after being routed in mid. So, again, most likely it's a small comeback for Markov to just, kind of get things a little better. Also, like how he's using the half-track right here to neutralize and annihilate that cover position. Again, if you do that, the Soviets are at a far greater disadvantage because they don't have their green cover. They can't fight at the most proficient, where you can build your own cover, come on in, and then do that damage. Or at least that's what I hope. That would be great, right? Anyway, conscripts are being reinforced, as you can see down south, and unfortunately they can't get the next man given to them until they get the final upgrade, which, as we can see here, Asha put a ton into his infantry coming back up. Also, double flamethrower, by the way, which is an interesting position to be in. You figure you would do 1 flamethrower and 1 with a minesweeper, but I guess that is not the case. Half-track still removing the cover, will do so while the Volk squads make their own cover. And again, good counterattack plus a retreating Volk squad at least got out of there before being, annihilated by this. A giant blob of conscripts that are slowly moving its way south. AT gun guarding the flank with the Dushka as well, providing some stable cover as the conscripts do a southern approach. Half-track repositioning up north, as you can see. We have the T-70 as well now moving on in. Trying to do what it can. Cover being stopped. Wow, great job, T-70. It's like, no cover for you. Mines being placed, but we saw a minesweeper. So again, Markov is in a good situation where he's like, I can detect your mines, and maybe unbeknownst to Markov, might be able to detect his mines, but Asha can't detect his. So any push in mid could be very detrimental to Asha, which is super solid. Again, this is what Markov kind of needs in order to start turning the tide. Rakanwerfer is also on the field. We have a support gun on the field, providing that much-needed support. And T-70 now pushes back the MG. Chat asked for the name. The name is Mill Road. That's the name of this game. It's the Autumn Edition, which is why we have all these autumn colors, which is really cool. T-70 moving up north, though, a little further, and he might be hit by a Volk squad, which is weird to think of. Engineer gets hit by a mines. Again, fantastic mine suite there. MG under opening fire on the support gun. Stern Pioneer as well, firing a Shrek. Does connect Rakanwerfer as well moving on in. Try to push back the T-70. But we also have the AT gun, which is somewhere. Oh, there it is. I was like, where the hell is it? Half-track opening fire on the engineer, suppressing them. AT gun moving on in. Wait, what? T-70 dies to something. Hold on. Rakanwerfer? No, the half-track. No. Oh, that must have been the Sturm. What the heck? Alright, Sturm Pioneer must have killed it. I'll confirm that. Volk Squad's pushing on in on the light AT gun. We'll see the MG infantry being pushed all back. Oh my god, a full retreat by Asha, who almost lost to Dushka. He did lose to Dushka. The Germans have a Dushka. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I want to confirm that the Germans have a douche. The Germans have a douche. And it is a very powerful Dushka. Alright? It's very... I could say that more once. I'm like, alright, I'm pushing it right now. Anyway, MG and Half-Track push back the conscript squad. Looks like mines that were trying to be placed got a little bit halted. But, big win as the heavy machine gun goes to the Axis. Markov now has complete support supremacy, having a support gun, a better like artillery piece than a normal mortar. Although, you know, even the heavy mortar can go toe-to-toe with this. A MG, a better MG, and an AT gun. So solid work, solid job by Markov in his counterattack. Asha is really going to need to focus and turn this tide. Now, Markov did expel a lot of resources to do that, being the mines he placed, the... Okay, trying to remove the cover, very nice. The mines he placed, and also expelling it in terms of like a lot of manpower to take everything back. So he's right now not in the best situation to, you know, get armor. He still needs the, excuse me. He still needs the Panzer headquarters, and also he needs to upgrade the Panzer headquarters. And then finally he needs, I don't know, about like 5 minutes of fuel. Meanwhile, Asha's like, alright, things may not have panned out that well for me, but I still have my Soviet hordes, being the engineers with flamethrowers, which, by the way, are effectively pushing back the Volk squads, or are they? As the half-track comes on in and immediately suppresses and makes them retreat. Now, with advantage, these Volk squads can overwhelm this engineer squad and force the unit back. We do have some additional squads coming on in. 7-man conscripts, so he has upped them even more, which makes them capable of going toe-to-toe with the Volk squads with their STG-44 upgrades. Meanwhile, light AT gun as well opening fire on the half-track as the T-34 dives on in. But again, has to be very careful with how he progresses, as there's a unit with a, you know, Shrek. We got Rakanwerfer also coming on in. An MG that's maybe a little too far forward for his own liking, but hey, hopefully he can get out of there. Rakanwerfer is going to guard his retreats. Bit close, honestly, but he might fire through. Meanwhile, up north, the Soviets are launching that assault. Half-track very low. Doesn't manage to throw the AT grenade. Volk squad guarding in case of that. Sturm Pioneer and Volk squad engaging the conscripts. There's a lot of units right now in active engagements. He's going to want to make sure he retreats them. He will. He does get back. Meanwhile, down south, Volk squad might perish to the T-34, sorry. It does end up perishing. He does falter. Alright, the rest of the support equipment looks generally fine. So, except for that, he's able to keep everything else. Meanwhile, the Soviets are going to counterattack and retake key territory and build defense positions, as you can see right here. Hopefully the armor doesn't run it over this time. That would be helpful. Meanwhile, T-34 is moving up north. Most likely going to deal with that last remaining Volk squad. Might try to kill it on retreat if he can, which would be a nice little win. Volk squad under fire. Luckily doesn't get wiped. AT gun returns fire on the T-34. I was going to say, right on the edge of his radius, but he does manage to get out of there. Meanwhile, Volk squad pushes back an engineer down south, hopefully grabbing the VP. VP-wise, I should note that even though in the beginning Markov was down, that has changed, as Markov technically now has more VP than the opposing player, being Asha. Asha, by the way, going with a heavy mortar, the 120, hopefully to pulverize Markov's support equipment and infantry, which, yes, the 120 excels at, will not question. The delayed fuse, really solid in terms of blowing up enemy positions. But we'll have to see. Right now, Markov did build the Panzer quarters, got that fully operational, which, by the way, is guarding a good chunk of his flank and also a middle push, which is kind of important to make sure his units have a solid retreat path and don't get picked off and all the way close to his base. Mines being placed in the meantime. AT destroying the cover. Again, I like how active Markov is being even when there's no fight. So again, solid move and solid positioning there. But yeah, very close game after the initial fight. The 120 though, trying to end it, barraging the MG34 with a good effectiveness down to about down a third of its health. Half track does suppress, while the lighter AT gun does push back the half track, bringing the half track down to about half health. But it is up to Vet 2, and also the Sturms. Oh, Sturms are actually engaging, so we'll either have to pull that back or focus with something else. Great shot with the T-34 coming in from the south, getting a perfect shot on target, neutralizing the light vehicle. Markov cannot be happy with that, and no, he is not. He's deploying a Panzer IV, but not any Panzer IV. He's deploying the better Panzer IV. Also, I'm assuming mine. No? Oh, okay, Soviet mine. Yeah, so if the Volkswagen's push on in, it could be lured into a trap. Support gun or a mine, I'm assuming it was a German mine, hits the unit. T-34 advancing, trying to focus on an enemy that's currently just dealing with a lot of different fronts. And the AT gun, by the way, back at base, that T-34 doesn't necessarily need to worry unless Markov deploys another AT gun of some sort. That would really be beneficial for him. But again, right now we got Volkswagen's still in a good position. Support gun would really need to start focusing on the heavier mortar and just try to harass that as much as possible. But now we have another issue. T-34. So for those who don't know, this T-34, quite extensive, you know, but not exactly the best. You know what helps? Numbers. Numbers helps the T-34 out greatly to fight the Germans. So now, the Germans, they're in the north. They're trying to push through. Soviets are in heavy cover, trying to counterattack, and hopefully both T-34s can move on in, or maybe this one can move south, and hopefully not bit by a mine, and kill a Volkswagen. Divide and conquer. The ET and armor can't be everywhere, and this Volkswagen might perish right here. No, he will escape. Meanwhile, T-34 is brushing up against Volkswagen, forces it back. Meanwhile, the other Sturm squad is going in here, but again, that can't really hold against all this. To double conscript and double engineer, I don't like those odds. He shouldn't like those odds. Anyway, armor is moving on in, going for the MG and also the Sturm. Oh no, he's going for the Sturm, moving up, trying to hit from a side shot. Meanwhile, AT gun does hit the armor. Panzer IV, though, moves on in with a MG42 Pinto machine gun upgrade. He's going to try his best to hold back the Soviet players' advance. The AT gun is elsewhere, so it's not going to push. Though another T-34 is hitting the flank, and that's doing pretty well. Armor, though, does push back some units, and trying to blow up the cover if he can. But it looks like most of the force over here is slowly being whittled down. Sturm Pioneer does fire another shot, does connect, making a Faust very likely to damage and destroy, or at least partially destroy the engine in this sector. T-34s, though, are not giving up without fight. By the way, 16 kills for this one. Goddamn. Doing a solid job. Volkswagen's opening fire, but the Panzer IV as well opening fire. Volkswagen very low. One additional shot could be a finishing mark for the unit. Misses, but does hit the armor. AT gun moves in to reposition. AT gun moving on in as well, and the Soviets will need to fall back. AT gun bounces, I believe, off the Panzer IV. Does very little damage. He does not care. Armor is moving on in. Panzer IV charging. What is happening? He's trying to kill the light AT gun, I'm assuming. He might be able to at this rate. Unfortunately, that last shot is unable to finish target. Conscripts moving on in. What a ballsy move. Conscripts retreating. And hopefully he's trying to kill it. He is going to try to kill the AT gun. Meanwhile, the Panzer IV try to kill the conscript squad. Again, Dushka coming on in. Does kill the 45mm machine gun. Rakanwifer, though, is forced back by the 120. Panzer IV is also pretty weak. Will need some repairs. What a great engagement. Even though having less men, Markov did manage to bring victory, though is at fault with two issues. One, his lack of armor. Right now, these Soviets are gearing up for a major counterattack. We have literally 3 T-34s on the field. And Asha has a special that is known to kill tanks, being anti-tank Overwatch. So again, a very proactive Panzer IV would need to move outside of that zone. Though, we also have air support, being airborne assault, that can be called in to hopefully counteract that sort of armor engagement and keep the Soviets back. The second issue that Markov currently faces is VPs. Right now he's down over 120 VPs and will need a solid, stable ground in order to keep the tide from turning too much in the other direction. What the? Oh my god! What a shot with the T-34s! Again, popping flares helps to remove some models, but that shot knocked out the AT gun in a single blow. AT gun is now neutralized and probably will be either recommissioned by the Soviets or killed by the T-34s. Right now, conscripts going in for mid. Panzer IV are going to be need to be very proactive. But again, I'm not sure. It does steal the Raketenwerfer. If he maybe can fire a shot on the retreat, which by the way is blitzing, so I'm assuming you will. Come on. How is it not decrewed? Oh, there it goes. Panzer IV is holding its own against the armor. He might try to sacrifice a Panzer IV to do AT tank Overwatch. Raketenwerfer though opening fire. They might be able to kill a T-34. No, I don't think so. We also have a T-34 way up north. I have no idea what it's doing. I guess just killing tank traps or something. Okay. Panzer IV does manage to push back the T-34s, which again do have a disadvantage versus Panzer IVs, for those who don't know. Especially this variation with additional armored skirts, thanks to the OKW. Conscripts pulling back. Volk Squad pulling back, stealing the Raketenwerfer, so he at least got both of them back. And that also puts Asha in a disadvantage with lack of AT, or at least long-range AT. Panzer IV lying in the wings, but AT still supporting him. Although, need to watch out for an AT grenade. That could be crippling. Conscript's trying to clear the way. I think he's going to need to retreat. He's very low. Wait, no. Panzer IV Vet 2 now does get penetrated by a Panzer IV. Raketenwerfer does miss. A lot of infantry, though, coming in. Nice Shrek, by the way. Hits the unit. Oh, AT grenade is going to hit it, I think. Yeah, it will. He's going to try to blitz away, but it's too late. He gets hit, and that might be the key for this stuff to move on in. Panzer IV needs to pull back immediately. Otherwise, anti-tank Overwatch could annihilate him. But he's going to advance instead. I think this could be... Oh, no, he's going to pull back. Okay. I'm like, Panzer IV, you're good. You've been doing great. You have 25 kills. Nothing to sneeze at. But you might want to pull back before the Soviets, you know, get everything together. Now, I will say, in that fight, MG-34 was killed by a T-34. Excellent maneuver. And also looks like conscripts might steal it for additional support equipment. Also very important, Markov is getting himself more armor. So it's going to be 2 Panzer IVs versing 4 T-34s. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you start. This is how you start a tournament, with a major armor battle that's going to be duking it out, with artillery and air support most likely going to be dropped at the same time in hopes for the chance to kill both sides. I'm very curious to see how things go in this fight. And hopefully you are too. Anyway, let's see how things progress. Alright, so 2 Panzer IVs, 4 T-34s possibly going at it, duking it out against each other. We have 1 T-34 heading south into a major confrontation with a lot of AT guns. I don't think he expected this. He's going for a deep flank. Maybe he did as a bait and switch, as to lead the AT guns away, so that way the other T-34s can push on in. Not sure. Flare is popped, so he's able to see this area. T-34 does get Fausted. They're going to try to go for the kill, but a mine is placed, and that's going to sabotage that Panzer IV. AT Overwatch is now active in the sector. Great positioning as they'll hit him on the retreat. Panzer IV decides to charge the enemy. What? And he will kill a T-34? He does. Southern T-34 also dies. This one needs to either hold fire and get the hell out, as the Vet 2 one. Panzer IV under fire, could die right here, right now, to the AT Overwatch, does perish. Conscripts moving on in. The other one's trying to make a break for it. 20 seconds remaining in the positioning. Now it's going to be hit by the anti-tank Overwatch. All forces are in a full retreat. This Panzer IV needs to keep moving backwards. No air support was called in, by the way. And there it goes. Panzer IV gets crippled and neutralized. And I believe that's game. Really? Oh, no, okay. It was just lagging. I have no idea why. Okay. Anyway, stopped there for a second, but Asha continues the advance, kills the AT gun. Markov is just not moving, so no, I think that's it. Oh, what the heck? It like stops and then continues. I'm very confused. Anyway, conscripts picking off the additional AT guns. Markov need to retreat them. He was probably just so shell-shocked by the artillery. Stern Pioneers slowly being weakened down. Oh, okay, so Markov did. That's why. So Markov dropped, and I guess the AI took over, so which is why they weren't moving. All right, that's going to be game. Okay, an effective counterattack. Again, solid effort. Super solid effort. And again, I think the biggest thing to say about that game was the fact that Markov did have a good counterattack and did have great initiative, but unfortunately, it was all part of the plan for Asha, who had plenty of T-34s to sacrifice and take out, and what he did was just simply wait for the perfect time to strike, and then smash his opponent with a good artillery support and armor support with infantry. Make sure his stuff couldn't retreat and neutralize it. If the Panzer IV didn't hit the mine, I feel like he would have been in a way better position. But alas, it did, and he easily got knocked out. So wonderful job by Asha with that counterattack. Markov as well, good job overall with coming back in the second half of the game. The first half did not look kind to you, but the second half did, and I'm glad everything worked out pretty well. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the after action report. I'm like, yes, it will load. It's not loading, and that's why. Because I have the wrong screen on. So there we go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Anyway, now you can see what I see. Asha, it did 26,000 damage, 130 kills. Markov did 21,000 damage, 110 kills. Pretty solid across the board. We also look at the personnel. One conscript did perish by Asha, but did overall pretty well with 59 kills. And Markov got 51 kills with the Volk squads. Again, lost one squad. So pretty solid game. Pretty solid first game. So we'll have to see how things go in the second game. Alrighty. Thank you. And by the way, RES Rachel, fantastic job with that little intro. Really solid stuff. But, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are tuning on in, this is not game one. No, actually, I need to remove this. This is actually a win for Asha. That's right, Asha won game one in a stunning victory of excellent armor use in terms of sacrificing it to allow for AT Overwatch to completely obliterate the enemy. Now, we have Soviet player Markov versus austere player has yet to choose faction. So I guess waiting for insert, not entirely sure. Anyway, point is getting ready for the battle. And this battle could be final for Markov. Markov, by the way, and Asha are both playing on what map? Mill Road, the Autumn Edition. That's why everything looks like it's fall leaves and dying slowly but surely. But what does Markov have at his disposal? Well, of course, it's the Guard Mortar, which is heavier infantry, similar to previous one with the heavy mortar, but instead of the ET gun and Dushka, instead, you got yourselves a T-30-45, Guards troops, and marked targets. So solid use of all sorts of stuff that can hopefully harass and kill the enemy. Well, anyway, that's the goal. Right now, again, going with an engineer start will put more troops on the field quicker, but could be a small issue of less firepower that's as effective until these guys get some upgrades or do something. So right now, on the opposing side, we have Asha going with a standard Pioneer, Grenadier, and MG combo, which, by the way, the conscripts already trying to pick off that MG, firing at will. MG might lose a model, but I can't see more than that, honestly. I mean, it's been picked about 10%. There it goes. One model down. Conscripts winning that fight, so good shot from Markov. Might try to focus, but Grenadiers are now in cover. Doesn't want to lose any models. More conscripts moving on in. Trying to fight. Hopefully bring in a good battle at hand. Hold on. Pioneers getting close. Engineers trying to, you know, socially distance away from Pioneers. Only because it's better killing at range rather than close up in their face. So there's that. Conscripts coming in around the MG while the other one fires. But this one finally does get suppressed, which is a big blow but MG now being hit. Molotov is yet to be chosen, so don't expect that. Grenadiers, though, focusing now on the conscript as the engineer squad slowly picks off a pioneer model, so good work there. MG down to about a quarter of its health, while Grenadiers focus on the conscript. We have one additional conscript moving on into mid, but I'm not sure how oh, sorry, down south, my apologies. With the, oh, there it is. The engineer might be moving into mid. Okay, which could be a good flank if he can flank from the north and hit the MG while they expect all their forces down south. It's like yes, of course, the Soviets will send all their equipment to mid. They only have operation for one, the operational capacity for one major offensive. And then Stalingrad got encircled. Anyway, MG and Grenadiers opening fire on the conscripts, trying to push this sucker back. And yeah, they might be able to. It's very close. Engineer squad does get that flank in, though. MG gonna lose its health pretty quickly to the flamethrower. Though, will it die? Well, that's up to the Grenadiers and how well they perform. And they perform pretty admirably. They brought down about half its health pretty quick, while Grenadiers are keeping the conscripts at bay. We have additional, we have some additional support, but that a little bit lacking. Reason is they need reinforced, and he's busy trying to build up his support weapon campagna. Hopefully get an MG, machine gun, maybe AT, you know, have something that can kind of already and, you know, cause damage, something like that. I also realized just repeated words. Let me drink more coffee. Anyway, conscripts now picking off that MG. Very low, very ballsy for Asha to just keep it on the field for this long. Might lose it if he was if he didn't retreat at that moment. Yeah, he might have lost it. Now, speaking of loss, that might be something the Soviets will do because dun 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 dun, we have a Panzer Grenadier about to make its way onto the field of battle. So, Panzer Grenadier, pretty solid stuff. Good infantry. Probably the best infantry the Austria can bring up in terms of just general firepower. Grenadiers are solid, don't get me wrong, with the MG42s, but Panzer Grenadiers are something I hate with my full existence when I have to verse them, if I don't have shock troops. And right now, Markov doesn't have shock troops, so this should be fun. Conscripts are in cover, though. They built a defensive line and hopefully can pick off the unit as it approaches, though the MG is going to use its range, it looks like in this case, to hit him, so hopefully cause suppression. Meanwhile, up north, the engineer and conscript are going to take over this territory. Meanwhile, down south, conscripts will take over the other. Again, no Molotovs or AT grenades yet, as of yet. Panzer Grenadiers moving in, hopefully to intercept the unit, but alas, unable to. Again, solid effort, by the way. And Panzer Grenadiers looks like it's going to continue, move into mid. And yeah, Markov's like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm sorry. Nope. I'm going to pull my men back and refocus elsewhere. Oh, up north, there's a Grenadier squad by itself. Head there. So yeah, it's exactly what's going to happen. He's just going to move in and hopefully take out that unit. But Grenadiers and Pioneers will support. Asha, by the way, has gotten himself a light mechanized, so 222 on the field, maybe a half-track, a pack gun. He's, you know, pretty solid in terms of bringing up support. Speaking of support, Markov is getting an MG. And is he going to get a... Yeah, okay, so we got minesweepers down south to make sure that the enemy places an S-minefield or tiller, he can detect it. Panzer Grenadiers going straight for the gut, cutting off the territory. Key to Markov's base in terms of keeping it alive and flush with resources. Meanwhile, Panzer Grenadiers moving up north. They are getting picked by the conscript, but we'll need more fire support. Unfortunately, the fire support's being suppressed. And, yeah, Panzer Grenadiers might try to go for the pick. They'll probably get it. There it goes. Is he going to get for another pick? Oh, my God. Bundle grenade. Wonderful bundle grenade on that retreat. And rifle grenade kills the other conscript. That's 3 squads down in the blink of an eye. God damn. Are we going to see a 4th? Are we literally about to see a 4th? Oh, don't do it. Don't do it, Asha, no, please. He's just another MLG player. Oh my God, he actually lived. Holy God.
The enemy is taking our territory.
He's just one of the best players in KO2. Don't do this to him. Oh God, but yeah, it was that was unfortunate. That was absolutely Unfortunate for him to lose 3 squads. Maybe he gets a pick with the Grenadier. Nope, retreats. Osh is like, sorry, buddy, I'm not falling for it. And Markov just in a bad state right now, severely lacking in infantry. He's gonna need to get some good picks in. I mean, look, he has guard troops and DPs. That's a solid unit to have, but you're gonna need a lot more than that. Especially if there's more infantry grabbing more territory, which means more resources, which means better equipment for them, and armor out sooner, which is definitely something that Markov cannot afford to deal with at the moment. Luckily, MG is causing suppression to the MG42, and hopefully the guard troops can move in and kill the unit. Or they'll just be a little bit... Oh, wait, hold on. No, I was going to say, I thought the models were going to start dropping real quick, but no, he gets out of there with only losing 1. Meanwhile, Grenadiers and Pens Grenadiers going up north. Again, trying to go in from behind for the Pens Grenadier to get that wipe. Meanwhile, down south, Pioneers pushing back the Engineers, and the Conscripts are trying to deal with the Grenadiers. But again, I'm unsure how effective it's going to be. Wow, really? Alright, well, apparently Pioneers did work and block the territory for Markov, so no cover, I guess, for him. Grenadiers moving on in. Machine gun needs to suppress something. Oh, he can't. Is he just... Oh, there's... Try to... Oh, rifle grenade kills the MG. Oh my god. Heck of a fight. More guard troops coming in with DPs. His answer, Soviets expertise, hopefully can deal death blow. Asha, meanwhile, going a little ballsy, I think, going with a sniper. Usually you try to up-tech, you know, get some better armor or equipment or something, but no, Asha's like, I'm just going to get a sniper and wear him down. He doesn't have that many men, so a sniper does make sense. And he's focusing on the conscripts and guard troops. So yeah, I mean, I can see why. He has less men, good protection. He should be good with the sniper, but will it be enough? Will it actually be enough is the main question. Well, we'll have to find out here as the sniper continues to just scout out territory. Now, luckily, Markov's still getting a decent, not great, amount of resources. T-70 might be his best bet, but again, Ash could get an AT gun. Actually, heck, Ash in 3 minutes or a few minutes, especially because again he's King Battle Phase 2, could easily give himself a Panzer IV or something like that, especially if he gets more and more resources. It's just it's like a boulder going down a hill. It just gets faster and faster and becomes, or not boulder. Let's do a fair comparison to what this game is. It's like a snowball that rolls down a hill that just gets bigger and bigger and then turns into this gigantic ball of destruction that just levels the town. Yeah, that's what's coming Markov's way, and he really needs to figure out a way to like start picking it off before it collides into his base and just ends it there. T-70 is being made again. That's going to be a hell of a thing, but if he keeps it alive, has good support, then he might be able to turn the tide. The fact that he has not given up, I will give Markov. Again, there's a couple players I know that would be like, nope, I'm done. The game's over, I'm done. But that's where a lot has to be said about these players. Even when things look bad, they still keep on fighting because they believe that there's a way to victory. Now, again, we have a push into mid. Now, again, there is a specific fine line between having a way to victory and then being like, nope, I'm gonna win, even though there's absolutely no chance in hell that there's gonna be a counterattack. But you never know. Sniper, by the way, picks off the MG, leaving the guard troops by themselves in mid. Grenadiers on the retreat thanks to the T-70, pushing them off the fuel. Grenadiers, though, moving on in to intercept. No AT guns still to speak of, though. Asha will probably get one out soon, I would assume. By the way, thank you for the follow. I will give you a shout out in just a moment after this game is wrapped up. MG, armor piercing rounds active? He is. It's not much, but it does do work. Bring him down probably 20%, hopefully. Oh, Panzer strikes as well, but T-70 keeping distance, just picking them off. Where are those? Oh, Engineers trying to pick off some units, but alas, Unable to. Soviets really going heavy with the guards. 3 guard forces. Okay. Interesting. I love the T-70 as well, using the cover and distance to just keep picking off the Panzer Grenadier squad. It's like, how do you like being picked off? Oh, has to watch out for the Grenadier. Oh, MG now in harm's way. What a turnaround. MG could be decrewed here. Or, no, he's going to focus on the Grenadier. Luckily, there's no other Grenadier, speak of, which, by the way, I think this has a PTRS rifle. Infantry come on in, pushes back the Panzer Grenadier and the other Grenadier. Somehow, someway, Markov is winning the fight. And, yeah, that might change very soon, as Asha deploys himself a Panzer IV. But, now we have something a little bit different, which is fair to say in terms of, like, other matches. By the way, I love how there's a barbed wire sandwich coming in right here. It's like, alright, I can't get rid of it, so why don't we just build more cover? Yeah, let's just build more cover. Anyway, guard troops currently guarding that, grabbing territory all the way up north. But all these forces, for the most part, have AT, right? They have PTRS rifles, and then they have the DPs. So, to be clear, the Soviets have decent AT, especially with all of them, and buttoning ability, against Asha, right? Which, by the way, Asha upgrading his men with G43s. So you gotta give it up. Panzer IV on the field. So if that Panzer IV comes on and thinks, I'm just gonna kill, which you might do actually in one. Oh, nope. I'm just gonna kill this unit. Might not go so well, as he has a bunch of guards. Now, this thing might die unless the guard troops activate button or something.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Alright, snare him. You got him. Button, or it just keeps shooting. Oh, Panzer Grenadier is very low. Engineers just keeping them back. Guard troops did effective, doing some damage against the Panzer IV, though this unit might die. Oh my god. G43s pick them off. Panzer IV now heading north. Again, no way for that T-70 to heal now. It's up to the guard troops to hold the line. And again, the Panzer Grenadier squad's right there. Alright, pick them off. He only has Shreks. No more anti-infantry capabilities. Alright, go this way, man. There is a pathway. Guard troops will pick off that Pioneer squad. Also, MG hits the mine, which will severely weaken his combat effectiveness. AT gun moving on in. He's going to make a retreat. He's also grabbing a piece of terrain with him. Oh, set it down! Set it down, set it down. Button, 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 button. Oh, so close. If we got a button, AT shot could have killed it. Absolutely could have killed it. But he did effectively pull him back and only lost 1 unit, which he... I think the engineer squad got... Wait, hold on. Did he have another one, or did he just deploy that? I think he just deployed that. Whatever. Markov somehow staying in the fight. He's still losing the VP war by close to 200 points, but he's still in the fight. Alright? He still has this in some capacity. Now, is his territory pretty much being cut off because of the Grenadiers being very, well, forward-facing and pushing him back? Yes. Is Asha now at mass deploying MGs and other support? Wait, was he deploying? Oh, no, he's getting an AT gun and another MG. Is he deploying that to hopefully counteract him? Yes. Is that Panzer IV still 100% a nuisance that he'll have to contend with? Maybe. AT gun needs 1 good shot. He can take it out. Fire. Unable to. Dang. Guard troops trying to pick off some units. Panzer Grenadiers go in the building. Wait, hold on. Does the building have a back door? No. Well, it does have a side door. So whenever he throws a grenade to, he can neutralize it. Artillery coming in. Markov severely down in munitions, by the way. Come on, pick off the MG. There we go.
We have lost an MG team.
MG's knocked out. Conscripts, though, pushed back from the guards. I'm sorry, the Grenadier, not guards. Flank up north, but Panzer Grenadiers could throw a bundle. They will. Suppressed a bit. Does get out of there. Doesn't lose any models, so solid work right there. T-70 needs some heals. More guard troops coming on the field. Just no upgrades, though. They still have PTRS rifles. They'll still be AT, you know, efficient versus armor. Oh my god, so low. T-70, get back. Guard troops Sorry, I keep saying guards because of the PTRS rifle with him. God damn. Anyway. Guard troops moving on in to counteract the enemy. Hopefully they can keep them back. AT gun fires, gets a good barrage on the retreating unit. Sniper, just a pain this game. 10 kills. Guard troops trying to go in, maybe get a pick. But Panzer IV almost healed. Whereas the T-70, buddy, you might need healed. You might need some heals.
We have 200 points remaining.
Sniper is down about half health. Guard troops are fully operational, grabbing a bunch of territory. Again, very risky with this, and might lose it. Probably will lose it. Unless the Panzer IV can miss. He does miss. Does get hit. Hold on. PTRS rifles fire a few more shots. Another round. Fires through the bush. Unable to connect. Somehow, Markov is keeping himself in the fight. Though still pretty... like, it's still not even fight. It's still not even fight. Markov is still down overall. But he just needs a good wipe. A good counter. I mean, the guard troops getting veterancy absolutely helps. And again, if I'm saying which is better, guards with DPs or grenadiers, I think the slight edge is with the guards. Now on the move, I think definitely I would say the grenadiers, but in good cover, I say the guards are probably slightly better. Grenadiers being slowly just destroyed from the infantry, but sniper support and also MG support does wear him down. Plus, nice job with the Grenadier down south, just grabbing territory. And again, that is 32 munitions per turn. That's going to allow Asha to get another Panzer IV or save up for a Tiger. Although, judging... Oh, and he's getting Battle Phase 3. Possibility. Hold on. Can he get a pick here? Can we actually get a pick? Come on. Can we get something? Sniper... Oh, wait. Oh my god, we actually might get a pick against Markov. Oh wait, actually no, AT gun does push back the Panzer IV, effectively holding back the German tide to the north. Again, not looking great. We have 2 MGs, a pack gun, solid infantry support, grenadiers in the upper teens. Oh wait, this one, Vet 2 with 6 kills. And this one's like, I've gotten 16 kills to get to my rank. And this guy's like, cool, I got 6. Anyway. Sniper on the field with 15 kills. Solid effort so far. Again, Markov needs to do one hell of an offensive in order to combat an enemy with not only the same amount, or I would say, hold on. Technically, Markov is more frontline infantry, though I would still give credit to Asha having more support, especially with Sniper, double MG, etc. Is that Teller? Teller's going down, okay. MG suppressing the guard blob, which this absolutely is. We have the T-70 trying to find the target. Gets a shot. Artillery comes on in on the MG, forcing it back, though. There is another MG that's on standby in mid. Again, lots of infantry moving on in, hopefully to counteract the Panzer IV. Again, all those PTRS rifles will do damage. Let me be very clear on that. But, is it going to be enough? Probably not. Slowly luring in the guard troops that get picked off by shots. It's not looking great. MG as well here to support. And right now we have a small flank with conscripts coming in from the south against the MG. Grenadiers are right there though. Grenadiers as well up north. Pushes back the guard force. That's, I think, 2... yeah, 2 units on the retreat. T-70 as well. Need repairs. Markov needs that heavy... not heavy Panzer Corps, sorry. He needs the mechanized armored Campania so that way he can deploy his T-34-85. Guard troops once again push back. Sniper providing that key support to just wear down the heavier infantry. This may be a bleed out. I think this might be a slow bleed. Another T-70. Wow, okay, that's a hell of a maneuver. And AT gun. Instead of going for the guard troops, he realized he does not have time, but I don't think the T-70 can deploy itself fast enough. AT gun picked off. Does hit the Panzer IV, but Grenadiers will probably pick off the AT gun, as we can see. Now, again, guard troops in heavy cover, if they get a good grenade, could maybe effectively push it back, but he doesn't have the munitions. And also Sniper stunned him. Wonderful shot right there. Counterattack coming in from the south. Not too much stopping it. Pack gun being picked. Sniper repositioning to hold back. Hits a conscript squad. T-70 possibly going in to shoot that unit. Retreats immediately. Grenadiers as well retreating. AT gun somehow manages to live. T-70 barely so. They need to go for the territory and start decapping, but middle is still under guard from the MG. I think this is going to be a loss, and it is. There it goes. That's game. Especially with a Tiger tank on the field. It's like, nope, I'm done. I'm good. So let's see how things went in that. So again, solid game overall. But again, I think Markov just got strangled to death. Slowly strangled. Alrighty. But let's look at the after action report to see how things fared. So. Alright. Yeah. Markov's reliance on heavy infantry, while damage-wise it paid off, I mean, a little bit more fighting the Panzer IV. He took so many losses with his infantry. Just, he couldn't keep up with it, unfortunately. Very difficult for him to keep on fighting. Yeah, 20 kills with his guard troops compared to Asha. 60 kills with his grenadiers. So yeah, the guard troops might have been better, but grenadiers were just on point more, unfortunately. And also the Panzer Grenadiers got 3 wipes in a row. That really put Markov back. But yeah, no, solid effort, solid job, and solid game overall. But Markov just got literally strangled to death. And Asha kept the noose tight and did what he needed to bring this game to a satisfying conclusion for himself. Not necessarily for Markov. But that's game 2. Again, thank you guys for watching that. Now the question is, what do I do next? Hey guys, before you go, let me give a special shout out to Aphyria, Folkvard, Joey G240, Balam, Ace, Tony B, Ion, Little Koosh, Samuel McKinney, Seth Coopers, and Jacob Oswald. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support and generosity. If you guys want additional content, check out the links above. Otherwise, I'll see all of you next time.